File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, a.k.a. Ass Ketchum, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To Me. How are y'all this week? I was trying to make a TikTok dance on the intro, bro.
Somebody feeling good this week.
I am.
I am the Eric J.
Only known as.
The Eric J.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life T for Life, Heart the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sport.
And it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman,
The gentleman.
the everyday gentleman,
24/7.
but better known as K Diddy.
Take that. Dog, he.
Oh, dang, that's appropriate.
Yeah, you know, hey. Sport fact of the week.
Let me get my phone back open. So on February 8th, 1986, before most of us were born, figure skater Debbie Thomas became the first African American to win a women's singles at the U.S. figure skating championships.
Okay.
Dope.
So
Congratulations.
Thomas was actually a two-time U.S. national champion, and she won a bronze medal at the 1988 Calgary Winter Olympics, becoming the first Black athlete, male or female, to win a medal at any Winter Olympics.
Thanks every day.
Oh, shoot. We got.
Oh shit, my fault.
Hey,
I was there looking around like, hold on.
we got new drops.
Right.
Speaking of which,
Uh-oh.
Speaking of which, what?
I think it's time to bring back an old we what a goodie. You
Oh,
still got
yeah.
it?
What's the name?
Which one?
Tim's drop.
Ain't no, I don't think we need to bring
No,
Tim
bro,
back.
ain't gotta bring that
Yes, we
shit
do.
back,
For the
bro.
one
We ain't
time,
gotta-
go
no,
ahead.
fuck what?
You know, people gotta, people they miss it, bro. They miss
They
it.
don't nobody miss that
You gotta
shit.
play the hits.
Man, ain't nobody request that.
We played-
drop.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
We played the hits tonight.
Go ahead and delete that. Now that you found it, go ahead and delete that. For good measure.
We had like 5 drops at some point. It was I can't
Y'all was
remember.
egregious.
I can't remember. Yeah, when I went back and listened to that last possession, I was like, no, we were out.
Y'all was outlandish, bro. Y'all thought I was crazy.
You,
Yo.
what you talking about?
Yo, I couldn't
You.
know. I didn't even recognize y'all.
You recognize your
You the
damn
one who
self,
had a
nigga.
whole story about someone. You know what?
We ain't gotta go there.
Hey, we
not
was just
even
talking about
gonna
David Banner. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
It was your David Banner story. You didn't tell us that. She
Hey,
had-
it happened in real life. I don't know what to tell you.
Not the story. That's what I'm trying not to hear.
There's no way to bring it back to the sports fact of the week, so we can be done.
Yeah, we can just move into the topics of the week. Dude, that was abrupt. I wasn't ready for that. All right, so let's see. First up on the agenda to discuss Super Bowl happening this Sunday.
This Sunday.
You have the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
That don't even sound right.
It sounds fun to me, to be like, after
Yeah,
I've been thinking more
I'm
about
excited.
it. Where I wouldn't have guessed it to come into the season, but
I mean, just historically, like
Oh,
it
yeah,
sounds weird. Like the Super
Yeah.
Bowl is Cincinnati and LA.
yeah, and LA get to be at home. You know, the game is taking place at SoFi Stadium. So
Home game.
For 2 straight years, we have the home team in
Bro.
the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Mhm.
Tampa Bay first, and now the Rams.
I saw a joke on Facebook where they were like, the NFL can't stand for this. They already made a rule that the home team don't get to be in the Super Bowl next year because it's in Dallas.
Just make it there forever.
Shoot, the Packers might make it back. Dallas feel good to Green Bay.
Except for
Anyway.
that ice storm.
Hey, that boded well in our favor. I was like, okay. But nah, who y'all got? Let's plain and simple. Bengals. Y'all going Bengals?
Yes,
going
sir. Joe and them.
You going
I've been
Bengals?
sold on Joe.
Y'all
I'm
don't
gonna be
have-
contrarian. I'll say Lakers. Lakers.
There you go.
See? You don't even believe it. That's why you can't even be contrary. Go ahead.
Go.
Make it a clean
Let's
sweep.
go. Let's go, Eric J. Welcome.
Yeah, the Lakers are more
Welcome.
likely to win the Super Bowl than the finals, so I'm with it.
Hey, relax.
You brought that one on yourself.
They instantly got mad and shit.
Right.
Instantly regretted it. This nigga.
So you going Rams?
Yes.
See, again, it's one of those things where it's like I want the Bengals to win. I
Mhm.
love the story of the Bengals. I love what Joe's been able to bring to them.
Mhm.
I like what they've been able to do defensively, but they don't have an offensive line.
No.
Them
And
boys
this
stacked.
is the best front that they
Aaron
faced.
Donald.
Yeah, like this is
And Von Miller.
Because we saw when they faced a good one, when they went up against Tennessee, and Joe Burrow got sacked like 9 times. So like,
Still pull out the
I was
door.
about to say,
they
still won.
did because Tennessee's offense doesn't
Yeah,
scare
it's
you as
trash,
much as
yeah.
the Rams. So that's what I'm saying. Like when I'm looking at the different phases of the game, like logically, I'm like the Rams should win the Super Bowl. So I'm like
Okay.
my official pick is the Rams. But if
Okay.
y'all like talk to me while I'm watching the game, I'm going to be cheering for the Bengals.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough.
Because
I think it's gonna be a shootout though. High scoring game,
you do.
like 31-27,
Everybody-
something like that. Yeah.
I can
That's
see
what I
that.
expect.
I can see that. I don't think the Rams have the corners for the wide receiving core of the Bengals. They have a corner. Their second corner is not as good of a man cover corner
That's
to
why they-
guard
I
like
was
a
about
T.
to call you
Higgins.
out because you was talking about like Mike Evans versus Jalen Ramsey a
That's
couple
why-
weeks
that's
ago.
why-
Outside
I
of
know.
him.
That's what I'm saying. Like you knew I was about to go there. So
They play mostly zone.
good catch.
Yeah, but
defensively, but
Jalen every now and then might try. He said
Hey,
he would
man.
like to man up on him, but on Chase. But for the most part, they just do what they do for the defense. And
Hey, corners don't matter when you got Eric Weddle back there.
hey, Weddle done had a little bit of a resurgence, which is
And he only
weird.
been there for like 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, you've heard his name. In 2 weeks, you've heard his name. This cat's been on there all season. You ain't heard.
this man. You
But-
don't know the way to spin it.
I really do. I'm a huge fan of Tyler Boyd. Always been a big fan of him, even in my fantasies. Like Tyler Boyd is always one of my favorite receivers to grab because he's one of those high reception guys, big first down guys. One of those guys that kind of like if he need a out and like a dependable hand to throw it to, Boyd could erupt randomly out of nowhere for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. But then you also have Higgins over there, and you've seen what he's been able to do throughout the playoffs. Where again, if he needs something big as a first down or a check down or something like that, he's big ass frame. He throw it up there, he catching cats.
Yeah.
Like so, yeah, he's been sacked in all of these games, and he's been one of the most sacked quarterbacks all season. Shit, that was the same last year, but they still been putting up numbers. They've still been able to get the ball out, and they've schemed around the fact that they line shitty. Like it's only so much you can do. Yeah, they're going to stack Aaron Donald and Von Miller on
That's
one
what I'm
side of the ball.
They have
It's
not
gonna be
seen a
gross.
defensive front like this. They
But
have not.
I also know that they're going to game plan because they know that Joe may not only have 2 seconds. So it's not like they don't know that coming in what their personnel is looking like. And I feel like they've done it well enough throughout the year, especially in the playoffs, especially against high-powered offenses, to do well.
It sound good. I mean, like for real, like it sound real good, but like we know battles are won in the trenches, and I just don't see them overcoming that. Because here's the thing: like when you play the Chiefs, it's like that was a great game for them because the Chiefs have a good defense for sure, and the offense is high powered. So it was like they had to match points going into that game, and they were able to do that. But when you look at just Aaron Donald, like
Yeah, they do that. It'd be
it's
gross.
It's gross. Like they don't have to like. I get what you're saying about Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins,
And Joe
Chase.
still.
I hear you again, but when you only have to rush 4, you're able to scheme a lot better on the back end to make up for having weak corners because really, like,
If you can't get the ball out, it don't matter.
it don't
True.
really matter. And one thing I'll say about Joe Burrow that I do like, and we saw it against Tennessee, it's like no matter how many times he gets sacked,
He getting up.
He's not gonna be rattled. He ain't gonna be thrown off the game. He ain't gonna be scared. He ain't gonna wilt. He's just gonna get back up and try to throw another. Like, I'm hoping for a good game. I'm hoping for a good game.
To quote the philosopher of our time, Michael Tyson, everybody got a
Michael
plan until they
Tyson.
get punched in the mouth. And that's
True.
like you try to scheme around, like, oh, we can get the ball out real quick. It's different when Aaron Donald's like in your ass.
True. Now, to be fair, on the flip side, to your point, Camille,
I mean, on your ass, but same different.
the Rams defense is one thing, but then you still do have a good solid offense on the other end for the Rams. As well.
Exactly.
Like you
It's-
still have
yeah.
the OBJs, you still got the Cooper Cups, you still got the Tyler Higbees, who's now finally hitting his stride all of a sudden in the postseason,
Shoot,
which
if
is
you would
fine.
have told me that Matthew Stafford and Cooper Cup would hit it off like this, I would have thought they grew up together or something.
He always finds one. Stafford always has one wide receiver. He
I
really
mean, to be fair, like he usually
He
only
only
has
has
one
one.
right.
receiver.
Marvin, wait, look at the numbers he gave Marvin Jones. Look at the numbers he gave Ted. Was it Ted Ginn or was it what was the other one?
It was Ted Ginn was ever in Detroit.
It was the other one
He
that's
was
kind
in
of like
San
Ted Ginn.
Francisco,
I'm thinking of shoot. It was a slot wide receiver anyways, but he was putting up
Golden
numbers. Tate. Golden Tate. Golden Tate had a pretty decent run when he was in Detroit because he ain't had nobody else really. Kenny Galladay had a great run in Detroit because he ain't had really nobody else. Like
Those people didn't overlap.
kind of maybe. Galladay wasn't there that long because Galladay left as soon as he became a free agent. So
Seems like 4 years.
I don't think he's the first round pick though. I could be wrong. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is Stafford always finds a guy that he zeroes in on and he can get him some numbers. Cooper Kupp just so happened to have the talent to match the key in ability of Matthew Stafford. Now that OBJ has finally got a stride with the offense, they looking really good. And clearly he won the issue in Cleveland. Clearly he won the issue in Cleveland.
We said that when he was in Cleveland.
Right.
Because somebody was like, I don't understand why he ain't talking to none of the Cleveland reporters. He ain't picked on one Cleveland reporter to ask him a question. What the fuck they finna ask him outside of Cleveland? I get it. I get what they're trying to say. They singling out the Cleveland reporters and stuff like that. But at the same time,
I don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
OBJ. So during the press, they had the pressers. You know, they had to go to make their rounds and shit.
For the Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl media week or
He
whatever.
called his own. I thought they usually have like a PR person. Like, you go.
They didn't pick on none of the Cleveland reporters, is what Cleveland fans are pointing out. And they're like, he's holding a grudge or whatever the case may be. And it's like,
if he is, so what?
That's what I said. I'm like, shit, they the ones that vilified him too. Like they was in on the shit too. Telling him he's the issue when it's clearly the quarterback. But hey, if don't nobody else want to admit it outside OBJ daddy with a 20-minute video.
I want to point out again that wasn't his daddy video. People be acting like his dad sat there and went through
Just
it.
slice and
Like
kick.
his dad saw it on YouTube and reposted it. Like, come on, like I just want to, again, people that like his dad was sitting there like looking through all the tape. Like, no, come on, man.
Which is true.
But yeah, I expect a good game
Mhm.
with that one. Is there anything else y'all want to say about the matchup itself before I have more frivolous questions about the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay, so y'all know the halftime show.
Mhm.
Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige. 5 people for this Super Bowl halftime show.
Well, it's like 15 minutes, isn't it?
It's normally about 15. We can say maybe 20.
Okay.
That being said, these are some big catalogs from these names that I just brought out. So I'm just going to go through each artist, and I want y'all to say the 2-3 songs you think
Oh shoot.
should be played during the Super Bowl. Because, again, really big catalogs, they cannot get through all the hits. Like, if they just had a Dr. Dre Snoop Dogg halftime show, we could probably get through.
They probably gonna
A
lead it off.
I was gonna say, I think that we'll get like some Dre and Snoop songs, so like
Together.
that just cancel
Get
them
that out
out.
the way right quick.
Yeah.
Plus, like those are their biggest songs. So
Eminem can
They
lead
make
into segue. Well, Drake can segue into Eminem. Well, no, because I'm thinking
Yeah,
like,
like-
who all got songs together? Kendrick got a song with Mary J. Blige.
But even if you have a song together, that don't mean you're going to do it.
yeah, like everybody probably gonna get their own.
Like, because
right,
the
but I'm
only,
thinking of the segue.
the only duo song that I can really think of that has to be played would be like Nothing But a G Thing or
Yeah.
Next Episode.
Next
still
episode.
DRE.
Still DRE account too. But like it's only really between them two. Like I'm not trying to hear no random album cut from Eminem and
Right, guilty conscience.
yeah, like first of all, they can't do that at the Super Bowl. That song is too
it's
off the
kind of
wall.
crazy, like who gets to skate for the pass and who like,
Is it-
gets their receipts
yeah.
pulled. Like, cause Dr. Dre like
He
has
got
had
some-
a movie, like now he's doing the Super Bowl, and like nothing sticks. Like I think stuff sometimes comes up, but it's like
Mhm.
He Teflon.
no big deal.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna start with what I think is the hardest person to place. Eminem. Give me 3 songs.
Shit.
Hmm.
Cause I only can think of one that like, I think
Still, what is that?
Rap God.
What's
I hope not.
No.
Like nothing after like 2005.
No, he gotta do all that. He gotta do his own
Nah,
shit.
Lose Yourself.
What's that?
I don't
Slippery
know,
on
is that
Slim
like
Shady.
a-
He gotta do that
Is
shit.
that like a Super Bowl?
It
song,
is.
though?
I feel like it could be, especially depending on where you put it into the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's such a like a knees weak, arms is heavy, vomit on his sweater.
Maybe that's
already,
like
mom's
maybe that's what they
spaghetti.
open with, because like that's kind of like a build.
Yeah, it's
song.
like a good build. Would he do
Mhm.
like my name is like what?
Hey, that should have go off.
I mean, because you got to keep it for the kids too.
That's what I'm
Alright,
saying.
That's
my
the thing.
name is
Yeah.
well, Eminem shouldn't be there.
Which is why I said Rap God though.
I don't know anything
rap
like
guy
late
garbage.
career Eminem, but like apparently he had hits. So like you're actually right. Like there may be some stuff that appeals to like a wider audience that we wouldn't necessarily categorize as
too
like.
I feel like Rap God don't appeal to nobody.
Shit,
Wasn't
that's
was
kind of
the-
put him back though.
Was that the song that had him in like that he had in the commercial?
Yeah.
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 Like that's the one that kind of put him back out here.
Fuck out of here. Hear that shit.
Well,
Yeah.
as soon as he come on, he's sitting there like
I don't want to hear that shit.
he probably is gonna play
That's
that
probably
one.
gonna
Okay,
play
so let's say Rap God, Lose Yourself.
Like all his big songs were like jokey.
Very vulgar.
They don't hold up
No.
as what my name is. We could do. He can do.
Stan.
Stan.
I'm not
Yeah,
afraid.
not afraid
I'm not
is a big
afraid.
one.
Oh yeah, he definitely probably gonna do that shit.
Like that era where he had like
I'm
the
gonna
songs
say,
with
shit, did you get
Rihanna.
Spotify?
Yeah.
Oh, love the way you lie.
His Spotify probably one of the top 5 songs, 3 of the top 5.
That's actually what you could do. Just like look at
Let's
what's
see.
the top,
Yeah.
top played songs.
Eminem's a hard one for him because I'm like I don't know
Yeah,
what.
that is.
Okay, so his top 5 is Without Me,
Who was
The,
the
the real
yeah.
Slim Shady.
But I mean,
Till I collapse. Till I collapse,
man.
So everybody,
Okay.
I hope he do that one actually.
Yeah,
Till
I can see
collapse.
that.
Between all his
The
between
real
all
Slim
his juicy ones, all his goofy ones.
Juicy.
That would be the one I would want to hear.
Boy, he got a song called Godzilla with Juice WRLD that got 831 million plays.
Yeah,
So it's a
because Juice WRLD's
WRLD.
on it.
Exactly.
Good
Not
lord.
because of him. boy.
That's the only problem when you look at like just the top songs.
I mean, Without Me is a billion plays. Till I Collapse is 1.2 billion plays.
Till I Collapse is my favorite Eminem song.
That's the only one I got to hurt on.
How that go?
That's right there.
It's the album cut.
Yeah.
It's a great song to work out to.
Oh,
He was
no.
spitting on that too.
I don't
I
know.
can't play it.
I
But
couldn't
no,
tell
like,
you.
I ain't listened to shit from Eminem since
Since-
05.
Yeah,
No,
but
that
it was off of
that was
Encore.
on that was an Eminem show.
Was it?
So
Yeah.
it was the
So
Clean
that
Out My
was around-
Closet album. No,
Like
that was one of
04?
his last. No, 02. It's a great like
So
that's
Yeah, it's a
Slim
it's a dope
Shady-
song.
Marshall Mathers, the Eminem show.
Oh, Stan is on there as number 5.
of course that means one of his better songs. He could also do he could do his verse from Forever with Drake and all them on it. He could,
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't get that
He
much
could do that.
time, so you
Yeah.
can get that verse
I'll
off.
do that shit.
They could do Forgot About Dre if you're talking about a duo,
Mhm.
not Guilty Conscience. You cannot do that. Okay, Snoop Dogg.
Drop it like it's hot because everybody
Absolutely.
that's
That shit gonna be.
that shit that can
Absolutely.
start the damn
Absolutely.
show too.
Yeah,
Like
that's
damn,
gonna
like
set it off.
Yeah, drop it like it's hot.
Yeah.
I want to hear Gin and Juice.
Yeah,
For the
he might
Super
not
Bowl.
get that off though. He might not be able to get that one off.
I'd rather hear next episode. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Next
Smoke weed
episode.
every day.
Right. Oh, I just saw that Mark is on here. Mark said rap god.
We know what we hearing
Yeah.
on. Hey, listen.
Yeah. He also with me on Gin and Juice.
Rap guy.
Still
Shit.
Dre, again, like some of the duos,
Yeah.
nothing but a G thing. But just Snoop by himself.
We did what? Drop it like it hot. What's
Drop
the
it like
other-
it has number 5
Damn, what's
for
the
him.
other one doing?
Who am I?
I
Yeah, no.
love who mine was.
Nah,
But-
that ain't gonna
Wasn't
make
it
it.
beautiful?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
With
that
Pharrell,
shit-
I
I
love
don't think
that.
I got the,
Yeah.
the mass appeal.
You can get that shit off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If Justin
That
Timberlake
beat
was
was
there,
so
he could do
good.
signs.
Man.
No, thank you. Just watching Jan Jackson documentary. No, thank you.
Fuck him for real.
No,
That'd be
thank
good.
you. He could do down from no.
That shit is be crack.
As soon as you hear the beat, everybody.
I'm like, no, please.
I could see him like teasing that and then going into
What
a
about the
different song.
babies? Just the instrumental.
All
of
the
it.
kids going to school saying niggas like a motherfucker.
Like, you know, they got to transition like the stage and get people moved around. Like, you
Hey,
can play
they
that
could
while.
just play the beat.
Oh,
They could.
man.
They
Just,
could play.
just
a
let
lot
him play the
beat.
beat of sensual seduction.
Fam.
Hey, the beat
Man,
cold.
that beat is cold, though.
Just let him play the beat.
Hey, but that song,
Oh,
that song
sexual.
cold.
No, fam.
Sexual eruption.
That's a great song, though.
It is a
Sensual
great song.
seduction. What
No,
we talking
for
about?
real. That shit, that's
It
a
is
great
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 to
song.
do California Love with Tupac hologram.
Hey, they gonna have to.
Hey, Mark out here.
I can see them,
wilding.
but I can see actually the recipe with him and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Again, is that a big enough song?
That's
for
what I'm
the Super
saying.
Bowl?
Like, I don't know if it's a hit. Like, we know it, but that don't. You know what I mean? Like the crossover, like rap guy,
Yeah.
fam.
Hey,
Like rap guy.
Like
fam.
California Love, I could see him doing.
So Kendrick.
California Love for sure.
Okay, well, so we on Dre, right?
Yeah.
we on Dre. Still,
I didn't know that,
I
but
think Dre might be just like blending in
Still
with
be
everybody
alright.
else.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say like Dre is probably gonna like his songs with Snoop are basically like his.
Yeah,
set.
well, he gonna
he can do nothing but G thing. Forgot about Dre.
yeah,
Still
forgot
be
about Dre for
alright.
sure.
California Love. Next episode. That's 5 right there. He can do little parts of. So.
Yeah.
I got 52 songs liked by this man.
By Dre.
Kendrick.
I was gonna say like Dre, we got 52.
Ooh, not looking good for my Golden Eagles. Okay. Kendrick
playing?
Lamar. UConn.
Kendrick,
Humble.
Humble for sure.
Yeah,
Humble for sure.
What if you had to pick Humble or DNA?
Both. Because
Yeah.
I think most of what you'll get from Kendrick is probably gonna be
Damn.
Yeah.
1.5 billion for Humble.
I feel like Kendrick gonna try to make a statement with something, so he gonna pick something that's like that too, maybe a new song.
You said, oh,
The hip.
maybe.
See, I kind of the only
Mark said DNA and Humble as well. He could also do all right. He's talking about making a
Mhm.
little stand.
see he got that song with
Yeah, and actually, like now that I think about that, like it is like black people doing the Super Bowl, so like
Black
they have to
History,
address like
You got to get that shit
in Black History Month, like they have to address like
certain aspects
certain
of-
things that are going on now, and like all the Kaepernick stuff that caused people to boycott in the first place. So I think you do have to like use that as a political platform as much as the NFL's going to allow.
Yeah.
I would love to hear "V Don't Kill My Vibe," but that ain't gonna happen.
I feel like they're going. I don't know why, but I feel like they really gonna hit now or never.
Jay-Z did put this together, so maybe surprise Jay-Z appearance.
Listen, if Jay-Z came out, I'd probably pass out.
This is too much excitement.
Too much.
She wasn't ready.
Too much.
She wasn't ready.
So just know if Jay come out, just check on me because I might have hit my head on the way down or something.
My heart can't take it.
Can't handle it.
Oh, shit.
It should be interesting though. It's a nice mix.
Yeah, Mary J.
She can't play none of her sad shit.
Holleration,
that's
dance,
whatever.
Family Affair is
Yeah.
definitely gonna get
All her upbeat. She probably gonna play something new though.
50 Cent gonna come out of nowhere.
What's the song? It's like,
Oh yeah. Away from you.
I'm fine. Just
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, what's
Fine.
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, she gonna be out there dancing,
With the
dancing
boots.
like a motherfucker with the boots.
Hey Mary, if you
She could be
hear
hitting
me,
that shit.
if you could do Real Love somehow,
on the real.
Listen.
I would love that.
I'd be
That'd
excited
be
about
dope.
Real Love. Real Love, Family Affair, and I'm fine. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. Ooh, they could also. Ooh, she did like "I Can Love You" and had Lil Kim come out randomly. Like, wait, who is that? He's like, who is?
Too many black people.
Little Kim is not touching the Super Bowl stage.
There's too many black folks up here.
But it should be fun.
We're at our black capacity.
The black quota has been met.
We met our quota for the halftime show. Jesus Christ!
Don't ask. For
Who
no
invited
black-
all the kinfolk? Oh, them comments would be so racist, bro.
Boy,
God,
you-
damn.
You said would be. Wait till Sunday.
Shit.
I was gonna say like them comments already called me. a
Yeah,
nigga.
damn. That
They
shit gonna
already
be-
called you one.
Hey, plenty
Eddie
of hard
Maverick.
ERs in that motherfucker.
Joe Rogan like a
I say hella
motherfucker.
Joe Rogan shit, bro.
Hard ERs.
Speaking
bro.
of Joe Rogan, real quick, then we can move on past Super Bowl stuff. But The Rock he was like, "Oh, I think y'all should like just kind of chill out a little bit, like
He's up on my guy.
At first, he was kind of like, "Yo, I support you, Joe," and then he saw all the nigga clips, and then he was like, "Saw some information. My bad.
And now people trying to
They're
get
trying to get him out the paint.
For all his wrestling promos.
I'm like,
which-
bro.
Are they
Fair
really?
enough.
No, he was talking about transgender and everything like
Yeah.
that.
Like
I
I mean, like that was
The
his
Rock
favorite
has- yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
insult. Was calling people like
Mhm.
trans.
Like, I mean,
slurs for trans people.
if you want to, you can cancel everybody from the WWE in the 90s. Like, if that's what you're trying to do, bro.
I mean,
Like,
you can
'cause-
go all the way up to like 2015.
hell, get this out of here. He was saying nigga in front of niggas
They allowed it.
on live TV.
It was.
Damn, the niggas allowed
that's
it.
what I'm saying,
ain't
like-
shit.
But it goes back to, so what we doing?
What can you do?
I
bro?
mean, again, all those Joe Rogan clips are from like
Ooh,
8 to
Mark.
10 years
Hey,
ago.
Mark got a question for us. Could you highlight that for us?
Nope.
Because I was
Absolutely not.
That's a big no for me. It's a big no.
Not a chance.
I was mine, M.
I've hit my Caucasian capacity.
Sorry, the question is.
Oh my God.
the question for the listeners who aren't on YouTube. The question from Mark is Eminem, is he invited to the cookout?
He can come to my cookout.
Not mine.
He can come to mine.
I'm struggling.
Now that he's not on drugs no more, I think he's kind of just sitting in the back somewhere.
Ain't
And,
talking about slapping anthrax with 10 pounds and shit. Hey, you straight, my guy. If you ain't on
Yeah.
that, you don't bring that energy. We
yeah,
good.
he's cool. He can come to mine in the back as long as he's sober. He can come to mine. That's cool.
I'm good.
Let's see.
Mom's spaghetti. Dude got a restaurant though, for real.
No, it's
in
called
Detroit.
Mom's.
Yeah,
I wanted to go
Mom's
when I was in Detroit, but
I wonder if it's getting good.
That'd be. What if the spaghetti trash and that's like what it is? That'd be horrible.
You enjoy your mom's spaghetti, but everybody else hate it.
That would suck.
That would.
hey,
But you love your mama though.
hey, I'm sure you've been in situations where you went to someone's place and they hyped up the food, and then you ate it and you was like,
What is this garbage?
Has- Are you making comments? No. Like we all have in-laws here. Like
Oh yeah, you don't touch lemon.
That can't cook and that
They
can't
bring
cook.
some, you don't touch it.
wait, what?
You mean them?
Yeah, he talking
What
about
was
the
that bring?
in-laws that can cook and can't cook. We
Yeah.
all got.
Oh, yeah, okay.
we visit them on Thanksgiving and shit. You know,
Yeah. You just bypass that shit.
you can't help it if you visit them on Thanksgiving. They don't want
right,
to cook.
you at their house.
Oh yeah. Well, shit.
Eat
You
before
just
you
gotta-
get there.
Yeah, just gotta sit through it.
Fill your plate up.
All I can say
Bare
is
minimum.
I'm happy both my moms can cook. in-law and biological. Like,
Well, I mean, like even within my family, like mom's side versus dad's side, like one side can cook, one side can't. It's like
no. See,
Yeah.
here's the thing. All of my family, Mark
Tell her to
tell
bring
plates. So
Tell her.
when my family cook, it's normally like just a person who
Mhm.
do the whole spread.
Mhm.
So I don't normally have like the which auntie made this because like if my dad, I went to my dad barbecues before. Like he
Your
cooked
dad,
everything.
He'll cook you. If you don't watch out. Throw you on the goddamn grill. That man be cooking everything in sight.
God damn.
It's true.
That
True
nigga said he
Better watch out. We grab your ass.
I would like somebody was grilling across the street. I think it was Saturday. I was tempted to bring mine out. Like I was like, that's no good.
Yeah. Somebody when you smell someone else
Mhm.
Yeah,
barbecuing,
you like,
you
damn,
like,
they season the shit out that motherfucking meat. God damn.
this the
They got
fire
two
and the
meats over
charcoal.
there.
You be looking to see if they with the eyesight. You be looking down the street out your window. And
Okay,
shit.
for the
Bravo, sir.
meat, sir. Let me-
Bravo,
bet.
sir. Bravo, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
One more Super Bowl note: the average price for a 30-second ad for the game has been said to be $6.5 million.
Woo!
In case you were interested.
30 seconds. 6.5.
So
30 seconds.
But all the eyes, though. All the eyes
So
gonna be on.
we gonna pull our resources. And get this
6.5.
Hey,
No.
if we can pull,
We need to go
shit,
fund me.
6 million. What the fuck are we doing? For a 30-second ad, we on some bullshit.
Be homeless. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, what?
Just think of the exposure.
6.5. Who is this
Like
man?
people gonna be like, what the fuck is Technical Foul podcast?
Oh, what?
We'd be living in here if we did that.
Exactly.
For 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
You made
30 seconds of
6.5
I don't
in
even know
30
what-
seconds.
I don't even know what a 30-second tech file ad would sound like, fam.
Man.
Our
Just our
intro?
name on the screen. Like
That's
that's all that, like all you want to
It really shit.
do. Like shit, just get people to download it.
Tell them why you want to listen. Why they should listen. It'd be our intro, damn near.
They didn't let Bobby Portis in the 3-point
Boo.
contest. Boo. They did not. Boo.
Why they ain't let him?
Lame. Tomato.
Boo this man.
That's my favorite video, by the way. I was like, that's hilarious. She said, boo, you were lame. Tomato. Speaking of lame, the Pro Bowl took place this past weekend.
Garbage.
The final score was 41-35. I'm assuming none of y'all watched.
Nope.
I watched like 2 minutes. I was like, what the fuck?
I
is
watched some
this?
clips that I didn't even want to see them. I'm like, God
That's
dang, bro.
We got okay. We'll get to it when we talk to NBA. But
Our kids
Something
play
just broke.
outside.
about
The 70. I saw some about with
top
coaches.
15 coaches of all time. I have some
Interesting.
questions.
Okay, we'll get there. But yeah, the Pro Bowl wasn't great. Again, if you hear the final score, you might think it was like high scoring, but 2 of those touchdowns were pick sixes, and the 6 Pro Bowl quarterbacks threw a combined 7 interceptions. Nick Chubb was the game's leading rusher with 17 yards.
How many rushing attempts did they have? Do you know that offhand?
I do not know, but
Hopefully, like less
from
than
the
5.
clips that I saw, just not an enjoyable looking event.
I
They should
don't-
play flag football at this point.
And
They might as
honestly, I
well.
don't blame them. Like, who wants to get
No,
hurt
I
playing
don't
in the
blame
Pro
them at
Bowl?
all, but it's like-
people were like, "Oh man, this ain't football. Like it shouldn't be."
Which is understandable.
Hold on, Mark in the comments said Kyler Murray to Green Bay. Hold on, now,
Did
Mark,
you see that?
I haven't seen nothing about this.
Oh,
Now, I saw that Kyler Murray deleted all his stuff
Yeah,
regarding the
basically.
Cardinals
Yeah.
on his Instagram, but what is
Mhm.
this to Green Bay?
because the only pictures he had with the other team is with him with the Green Bay coaches because they were the coaches of the Pro
I
Bowl.
don't think I read
That
too much
don't-
into that.
But that's what
Hey,
that's
they be reaching like
That's a
Hey,
big reach.
that's
He also
the-
had a
that's the
video with
conspiracy
Mike
right
Evans.
now.
Is he
Right.
going to Tampa Bay?
true. But that's because he only has those 2 pictures on his Instagram. He has
Okay, Mark said it's a joke. Usually,
Like
Right,
I
right.
made the joke. I saw like the tweet about he
Mhm.
unfollowed everybody, and I'm like, "Can I Arizona Cardinals? Can I interest you in a lightly used MVP quarterback?" Because like, hey,
Like, hey.
win-win. Like you,
right, like y'all still got some
Okay.
pieces over there.
y'all be contenders for like
We'll take
35 more
Buddha.
years, and then
We'll take Buddha and Kyler.
they not giving us no Buddha. Come on.
like hell, I'll throw in the first for Kyler. Like,
But yeah, Pro Bowl is big trash. What's not trash, WNBA closed in on $75 million in funding. The league said
Mhm.
it's the largest ever capital raise for a women's sports property. So with this
run that
funding,
up.
now the valuation of the WNBA and its teams is at about $1 billion. Some of the investors included Nike, Condoleezza Rice, which I was like, oh, what? Lorraine Powell Jobs, who was Steve Jobs' widow, Paul Gasol, Joe
Sorry.
Tsai, the Nets governor, Swing Cash, and Baron Davis are some of those investors. So shout out to everybody putting money up
Yeah, shout out. That's dope.
and helping the WNBA grow.
That's dope.
Some NBA All-Star news. So we got our rosters now. We got our All-Star rosters. They've been revealed. So I'm gonna read through the rosters and y'all tell me if there's been any snubs or if anything surprised you. We can start in the West. We already know our starters: John Morant, Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, LeBron James,
LeBron
Nikola Jokic.
James.
We talked about why Wiggins is there, so no need to rehash that. We got Chris Paul as a reserve, Devin Booker, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic, Draymond Green, Karl Anthony Towns. Draymond Green has already announced he's not going to be at that All-Star game, so Adam Silver has announced his All-Star replacement, and that is DeJounte Murray.
He deserve it too. He been hooping.
Like honestly, like I was happy with the West team. Like to the point where when they needed to name a replacement, I was like, "There's no obvious like, oh, this person got snubbed." Like, like okay, like I guess DeJounte, I guess Brandon Ingram. Anthony Edwards, like that was the level of player that we got to. So it's like, yeah, I think that the original team was correct. And I also have no problem with DeJounte being the injury replacement.
I think if you were going to have to put in a replacement, DeJounte should have been the first name listed. So I'm definitely happy to see him get some shine because that young man has been having himself a season.
Hooping.
Having himself a season. What about you two? Any snubs or anything from the West?
No, I don't see any snubs at all in the West.
Tim? It's cool if the answer is no, fam.
I'm trying to think, bro.
He gonna say like Josh Hart or some shit.
Hey, the key cog moving pieces, bro. No, nothing I can think of.
In the East, the starters, as we know, Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid. The reserves: Darius Garland, Fred VanVleet, Jimmy Butler, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Chris Middleton, and Jason Tatum. Kevin Durant will not be playing at the All-Star game, but he is capped, so he will be picking the team still. But his replacement is LaMelo Ball.
He should have been there in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's the thing with that too. When I was looking at it, because I was shocked to see that Chris Middleton made it. Like I think a lot of Bucks fans were, but as I looked at it, I was like, front court.
Siakam and Jared Allen are the only two I think that will have a beef with like, oh, I got snubbed.
So I was like, well, Siakam started season off slow. He missed a lot of time too. I was like, so I can get why someone would put Middleton over Siakam. And as for Jared Allen, I was like,
he's kind of hit his run early. I mean, not early, later.
Kind of, but like what I said like a couple weeks ago, I'm like, maybe people that are voting look at it like, okay, I want to reward a Cav, Darius Garland or Jared Allen. And they thought Darius Garland deserved it more. Like more people thought Darius Garland deserved it more.
Yeah.
Like they could have split a vote, basically.
Right.
Yeah, and if I had to pick one of those Cleveland players to be an All-Star, I think we said this on the show, Darius Garland would have been my one pick. And I think that if anyone else gets injured or anything like that, then the next guy in probably should be Jared Allen.
Agree. And like I do feel like Drew was snubbed, but again, like he missed like a very important portion of the season for All-Star voting purposes. Like he got hurt basically as soon as voting voting ended. So then it was like the coaches voting period. So
and it makes Chris make more sense too because he got really hot in January. So it's kind of I can see it.
Plus, if anybody's earned a legacy All-Star spot, it's the defending champion. So
he got some playoff votes.
Yeah,
Chris Middleton definitely got some playoff votes here. But yeah, the only person I had a beef with was LaMelo Ball not making the team initially.
Who would you have put him in over though?
Personally,
VanVleet.
What guard?
Probably VanVleet.
VanVleet. Yeah.
And not again. I know.
Yeah, not no slight to him or nothing.
Fred's
like that.
had an amazing season.
Yeah, he has. But yeah, I
already know who I would put him over. So
who?
Jimmy Harden.
Oh, James Harden.
Like he putting up numbers, but he's not the same guy. Like you can put up numbers and not be great. Like Russell Westbrook can attest to that. Like you kind of got to look beyond numbers sometimes.
Yeah. I feel that argument. I have no beef with James Harden being on the team. We're gonna talk a little bit more about what's going on in Brooklyn, but Yeah,
Ooh.
I mean James Harden is second in the league in assists.
Mhm.
He's still giving you what you got the numbers up? What's he averaging?
22, 8, and 10.
Like
Got to look
Okay.
bad on numbers.
I hear
hear
I understand it, but like the numbers are
22, 8, and 10.
they're too impressive to not be at least
they?
a result.
I mean, his last game, he had
especially when you're looking at who else could get in over him. Like, I'm sorry, like
Drew, Van Vliet, LaMelo. Like,
last 5 games, 4 points, 6
No, his
turnovers,
last-
right?
no,
no,
no.
his last 5 games is when he quit. So
Yeah.
like,
But
that don't count.
He had a 37-point game with 11 assists and 10 rebounds, and he had a 33-point, 12 assists, 11 rebound, and a 22, 5, and 10 in the last 4 games.
and they've lost all them.
All again.
Yeah, but-
All but one, but yeah.
No, they are on an 8-game losing streak. Oh, because he missed the last couple.
Gotcha.
Point taken.
But Fred Van Vliet or
Because he quit.
James Harden, I would still go with James Harden.
Nope.
Fred or James Harden or Drew Holiday.
Drewski.
I think I probably would still go with Harden. I hear you about the numbers being empty, but like he's still producing. When he's like, this is a terrible James Harden season, and he's still averaging
a triple double.
22, 10, and 8. Like,
Again, Westbrook, Russell. Like,
but Westbrook was always an all-star too. Like, I don't.
Yeah, that's true.
This ain't like all NBA. Like, that's a different conversation. But
Mhm.
all-star game, like, yeah, like give me some James Harden. He ain't gonna play that much anyways because he's gonna be
He go
tired.
half-ass it.
No, they're gonna be in Cleveland. I don't know about the strip clubs in Cleveland. So
He'll find one. He'll sniff it out.
Holes in the wall. Cleveland.
Double entendre, you don't.
right, I was like, oh, I see what you're doing there. The NBA announced the Rising Stars roster after they went through that 14 draft, as I mentioned, and those teams are coached and headlined by captains and NBA legends. So those captains who we did not know before,
I
John
think
Barry.
that's Rick Barry.
Oh, is it Rick Barry?
It wouldn't make sense if it was John Barry.
Yeah. So Rick Barry, Gary Payton, Isaiah Thomas, and James Worthy. So
Worthy.
Big game James.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I got the
Speaking of holes in
rosters.
the wall.
Oh, shit.
I got the rosters here laid out. I'm not going to read through them. You can look them up if you want to. But the tournament bracket, the way they have it set up, you're going to have like Team A against Team B, then Team C versus Team D, and then the winner of
Of
game
A, B,
1
and A,
versus the winner of game 2. So that would be the 3 different games we see for the Rising Stars, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But I will just put it like this, gentlemen, as you are looking through the rosters, who was your money on?
I like Team Peyton when I was looking at him.
Heck yeah.
I said Peyton too. I definitely said Peyton.
I mean, when you
Yeah.
start with LaMelo, Scotty Barnes, and Io, like,
Yeah.
And then Chris Durante
Durante.
and Davion. I was like,
And
and
Scoot
Scoot Henderson is probably the
Henderson.
best G League
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
they just ain't
Yeah.
got no size.
No.
Like it's full of guard. I mean,
They got
Scotty is
that thing.
alright.
They
I
got
mean, it's an
that-
all-star game.
Yeah.
Like, do it really
Yeah.
matter?
They got Davion. He might play some defense, man. And Scotty. And Io. Well, hey, listen. I think
My other team was Team
Not
Worthy
enough.
though, because
really, that was your second?
Mhm.
My second was Team Isaiah. Because Isaiah got Precious Achua, he got Desmond Bain, he got Sadiq Bey, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
it's a nice
I guess
squad.
that's a squad. But I mean,
Got to
honestly,
change the team for Halliburton here.
right. But the the thing that's cool.
Didn't they just
about-
trade Herbert Jones too?
No, absolutely not. The thing that's super cool about the Rising Stars game, as we said before, like there's a lot of young talent out here. Like
Mhm.
even the teams that we didn't mention, like there are some guys on there who's gonna be looking to hoop. So it should be fun watching that. I saw they announced the 3-point contest roster.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, I saw that Bobby Portis did not make it.
Yep. So
But-
it's Zach LaVine, Desmond Bain, Karl Anthony Towns, Fred VanVleet, CJ McCollum, Luke Kennard, Patty Mills, and Trae Young.
Y'all could have let Bobby shoot.
Why can't he shoot?
I don't know. He had a campaign and everything. Bobby wanted it too.
You know what? Honestly, I'm not that upset about it. Like, I feel like his release is too slow, so it would have fucked up his motion. Like, it would have fucked up his
Hey,
shooting. And
he
it's
might
like,
have got to that last rack and only been able to get one in or so. His release is slow.
What a rag.
like he would have felt like he had to speed it up for the contest and then throw him off for games. It's like, nope, just leave it how it is. Like,
Yeah, Bobby was saying he wanted to do it because he said I like attention,
that-
and I was like, I think he'd be a fun person in the
right.
contest.
You know what? Just change your name to Adetokounmpo, and then you can get on their skills competition team.
Mark said let Bobby shoot too. Heck yeah, man. We wanted to see Bobby shoot.
We really did.
We don't know the rosters for the skills comp yet, but there has been scuttlebutt that the Antetokounmpo brothers, Giannis, Thanasis, and Alex. Is Alex?
He's on the Raptors G
The
League
G League.
team.
Yeah, so it is Alex.
Oh, shit.
Closest
is in Europe.
Europe, yeah. That they might put together a squad since it's 3-person.
No,
squad.
they are in it.
Oh, they are? It's announced?
So, yep. So the Adetokunbo brothers are one team. The Cavs have Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley. And the rookie team is Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, and Josh Giddey. The Adetokumbos are losing this. Because the shooting rack, that's going to kill them.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, no, see, we'll see. No, so here's the thing. Like, we know NBA players, when no one's around them, they'll knock them down. Like, they might be all right when it comes to the shoot. They only got knocked, what?
They also have, like, by far the worst player out of all these teams. Like, they also have the best player, so, like, it evens out. But
I mean, but if you even it out, does that even out the talent?
Fam,
mean,
it's
like,
a skills
I mean,
challenge.
the difference
They
between
ain't
Giannis
hooping.
and Alex is probably an average NBA player. So, you know what? Yeah.
Fam, they ain't hooping. I'm just saying, like, they got a chance. Like, it's just a skills competition.
They have a chance.
Fam, we can go through a skills competition and get through it.
Accurate passing, make
We-
the shot, make the layup.
Which one of us hitting the shot?
Tim.
I would
saw
take
the
shot
bang.
for sure,
I
for
saw the
sure.
bang video.
Hey, and that motherfucker was money. The motherfucker, you know why it's a bang after that? Because it's money.
It might not look pretty.
And that was first
What
take.
I was gonna say, what take was
That was first take.
It might not look
I put the
pretty.
phone down, shot that bitch, looked back at you, said bang. You know why? Because I knew that bitch was going in.
Can we find that video and post it on Tech File?
No, I said, look back at it. I see you, boss.
I had the hand up, loving basketball and everything. Look back at the camera, bang. Give him one, bang. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
Dunk contest. We talked about dunk contest last week, Mark.
I forgot who even was in it.
I know Obi's in
Jalen
it.
Green, Obi Toppin.
Kate. And wait, what's
no,
the Kate?
Kate wasn't in it.
Ja.
No, I know
he
that.
in it?
I would love to see him.
I would have been great to see
It would have
John.
been great.
Him and Anthony.
Juan
Edwards.
Toscano Anderson.
That's right, him. The man of many names.
Fam, you know what? Never mind. Never mind. We're gonna let you have that. Some updates with the Flores lawsuit that's taking the
Oh wait, before we
NFL by
move on,
storm.
the top 15 coaches list. You want to hit that real
I
quick?
wanted to hit that alongside of the MLB.
Cole Anthony. That's the
Got
other
it,
one.
boss.
Cole Anthony. Yep. Let's see.
Brian Flores lawsuit.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. So at first, NFL had put out a little statement that said,
Emphatically,
yeah, that his
had no merit.
lawsuit was without merit.
Waving their finger and everything.
Then they came back and said, hey,
got a
our
little bit.
diversity efforts are unacceptable. And they sent out a memo talking about their commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Which let me just pause here. I've been doing DEI work at work. And I've found not like people with me like at my job. I want to make that very clear.
Not the people she
Not
works
the people I work with.
but people we've seen.
People we've heard of
people we-
around
I think
at
a
other-
lot of people don't even understand what those terms mean.
Mhm.
They just use them because they sound good and they know they're supposed to.
Mhm.
I think the NFL is one of those people
Huh? What?
that don't quite understand what the terms mean, but Yeah.
Aesthetics.
it is. It's all aesthetics. Goodell.
Diversity means that we have a guy who didn't go to an Ivy League school in this room.
In the same room as the Ivy Leaguer.
yeah,
In the same room
one guy.
as the homeschooler.
all men. But yeah,
Oh, he just went to Penn State.
not the Penn, but Penn State. So they put that out. Former Cleveland Browns head coach Hugh Jackson came out and said that while he wasn't directly paid to lose, he got some evidence of some coaches or some teams, trying to lose on purpose. And he said that evidence will soon come. That's all Hugh gave us.
Well, first Hugh said, "Hell yeah, they tried to pay me to lose," and then he walked
He
it
did
back
walk
like,
it back.
"Okay, I didn't take the money."
Somebody hit him
But-
back like, hey, motherfucker. hey.
Because he probably opened himself up to litigation.
Because they probably were like, "You took the money, didn't you, Hugh?" And he was probably like,
Go too soon.
Actually,
What I meant to say was,
Oh. Right.
run out the room. But yeah, this lawsuit's gonna keep building. I saw that Flores was on like Get Up and whatnot talking about it. And listen, I hope he run in the NFL. I hope they have to pay up some big bucks.
You see what he put up when Dennis Allen got the job for the Saints.
I did not see what he put up. What
His
did he
lawyer
say?
then put out, "Hey, congratulations! I'm glad we hired another black man, person of color and everything like that. But I honestly feel like I wasn't in consideration because I raised hell about this situation."
Wait,
Dennis Allen ain't
I
black.
was like, he not black. Dennis Allen is
Or is
white.
that the joke?
No, Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen
Dennis
ain't
Allen's
black.
not black. He's a white man.
Is he a white man?
Yes,
I'm thinking the wrong Dennis Allen. Then maybe I'm
Thinking of
the
Denny Green?
wrong- No,
because the only other
What other black?
because
Yeah.
There's
the,
you got on me, so I'm not gonna put it in quotes, but there is a quarter of a black man that got hired by the
Oh,
Dolphins.
Come on. Now.
the Dolphins hired Mike McDaniel. And he identifies as biracial.
Ah.
His grandmother was black, so he identifies as multiracial. But
Hold on,
Yeah.
let me
Dennis
find
Allen
it.
is not.
No, he's not. He's
Very
he's
fair
big white.
skinned and
Big white.
Fair
I'm
skin.
thinking of a different one then. But
Just
Marcus
strike
Allen?
that. Just strike that from the record then.
right, but let me go to Flores' comment because that shit was hilarious.
So, just talking about NFL coaching updates, we talked last week about who had been previously hired by the Bears, Broncos, Giants, and Raiders. When we were here, we thought that
yeah, we were fed some bogus information.
I can't think of his
Looking at
name.
the comments, Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh was going to be the coach of Minnesota. That's what everything was leaning to. And then apparently Jim said they weren't enthusiastic enough for him, so he went back to
He was
Michigan.
like, psych.
Like,
Okay.
He's like, oh, y'all want me to actually interview? I thought this was just a formality. They like, no, you saw that lawsuit? Like, we got to interview you.
So the Vikings ended up hiring Kevin O'Connell.
Mhm.
The Rams office coordinator.
The Jaguars hired Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
Good luck. The Dolphins, as mentioned, hired Mike McDaniel. The Texans hired Lovie Smith,
Wait.
which
Can I pause you there?
go ahead.
That's who he was talking about.
Mike
Not Dennis
McDaniel.
Allen. He was talking about
Lovie Smith.
Lovie Smith.
Oh, okay.
So, per his lawyer, he said, Mr. Flores is happy to hear the Texans have hired a black head coach, Lovie Smith, as Mr. Flores' goal in bringing his case to provide real opportunities for black and minority candidates to be considered for coaching and executive positions within the NFL.
Mhm.
However, we would be remiss not to mention that Mr. Flores was one of 3 finalists for the Texans head coach position, and after a great interview and mutual interest, it's obvious the only reason Mr. Flores was not selected was his decision to stand up against racial inequality across the NFL.
First of all, you knew that when you filed it. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
My bad. I made the mistake on the Saints. You could bail me for that one, but I was talking about Lovie Smith in this one. When I seen it, I was like, "Come on, bro."
That's like the statement's kind of interesting because like we saw Brian Flores go and get up and he said like I know this might affect my
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like you
Like, we know
Like
that.
flat out said that. Like I probably won't coach again.
But also, what I will say is, Lovie Smith was never like a public candidate for his
no, he
job.
was not
But
one
he's
of the top
he's
three.
been there though.
Like,
He's been in Illinois. I thought he was coaching Illinois.
No, he left Illinois.
he was on their staff.
He was on the Texan staff last year.
Yeah.
As a I think defensive coordinator or I forget what.
It's
like a
an
defensive assistant.
Yeah,
yeah, he's
assistant
one
or
of the
something like that.
assistants on the Texans last year. But like he was not one of the top 3 finalists the Texans had for this job before this lawsuit came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they also had Josh McCowan, who had never coached a day in his life as a
Yeah,
finalist.
they said he
No,
didn't
he was
go to
coaching high school. Like,
No.
man, fuck out of here.
And I saw a report that they're still trying to put him on Lovie Smith's staff, which is like, come on, fam. Like, we know what this is.
we know
you
what that's gonna
serious?
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Y'all
for the say put him in motion.
they
he
go
comes
fire
in.
Lovey and
man.
move him up
Yeah,
next year.
Exactly.
Like, all right, we can't do it
But
our
more
way. We're gonna do
likely-
it our way.
When we got down to like these last couple jobs, like I'm sure the NFL is putting pressure. Like, okay, one of y'all got to hire a black dude.
And the Texans like, well, hey,
And we got Lovey on the staff.
we got it.
He been there before.
And then as we
Like the
mentioned,
real coach is gonna be Josh, but he ain't got the experience yet, so we're gonna put him as like an offense, like whatever.
Like, just give us some time. We'll work him in the system somehow. He'll be the wide receiver coach.
Hey,
Like everybody
don't
comes
let
to Lovey, but
handle
Lovey
the
got to look at
offense, though.
Josh in the corner. Like,
you said, don't let Lovey what?
He can't handle the offense though.
It was funny. I was looking back through Lovey's track record, and like his shining moment really was Chicago.
Yeah. I love Lovey Smith.
I didn't
yo.
realize
Like he
one-
will always be like
He took y'all to the
that
Super
dude.
Bowl.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like you took his with Rex Grossman, bro. Like what?
And
That
Devin
was his
Hester,
best.
rookie year. But
That was
Yeah.
his best goal because when he was a college coach
I
at
remember
Illinois,
it like it was yesterday.
he was not good at
that
Illinois.
sexy Rexy out there flinging that motherfucker.
Like, he was getting this shit off.
The good old days, eh?
Fuck Peyton Manning, bro. To this day, I say it to his face. Fuck him.
It was a good
you
game.
ain't gonna stick him.
It was a good game, bro.
I might.
He said I might.
It'll be
What's up,
peaches.
Peyton? Man. We mentioned already the Saints hired Dennis Allen, and I see that Eric put this in here
Specifically for Mark.
Specifically for Mark. So shout out to Mark in the comments. He also put it in the comments himself.
I knew that was something.
Green Bay hired former Las Vegas interim head coach Rick Basaya. I believe I pronounced his name. If I said it wrong, I apologize. But he is going to be their
Rick
special
Bia.
teams coach.
I mean, apparently he's a good special teams coach.
Yeah, highly respected. I guess one of the best special teams coordinators.
They had a clip of him like counting the players on the field, so like that's already an improvement over the last guy.
If that's the bar, bro.
And
Game-winning field goal. Hey,
So the
send
black
10
man
of them
just
hoes.
wasn't doing nothing. He just wasn't doing his job.
Bro, we don't know. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. But damn, did you even get the horse in the right direction?
Blame that
You
man
know,
for that.
It wasn't even a horse, like it was a donkey.
You grabbed the donkey on accident.
it's one thing about that hire makes me just kind of think. I was reading an article, I think it was on The Athletic. Just double checking my sources. Yes, it was on The Athletic. And it was just talking about how the Packers have not made special teams a priority for the last 30 years. And it's kind of like, we understand you had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back. So like you were prioritizing your offense and then trying to shore up your defense. But like 30 years of like really just not caring about special teams. Like what happened. There were some high spots when they had like Randall Cobb most recently when he was a young gun out there. And
Desmond Howard.
Well, I mean,
That's between
yes,
two
in the
eras.
return game,
and the
but
return game aspect. But like kickers.
they've spent draft capital on kickers, punters, long snappers. Like they've put resources into like
we've had I guess I said over the last 30
key
years.
special teams guys.
But before Mason Crosby, I feel like
Ryan Longwell.
there was no gap between Ryan
No.
Longwell and Mason Crosby. It went right from Longwell to Crosby.
So they've had 30 years of great kickers too. Like
It's just been the coverage units.
It's the unit. It's like the unit has been an afterthought. Special teams is comes whenever it was.
I mean, 97 they made the Super Bowl too.
Special team. Yeah, Mark said 96. The last year they had this.
Which is Desmond Howard.
Yeah.
Because we let him go that offseason.
Because he got a bag from Oakland.
Yep.
He said he wanted to come back.
So I did want to
just real quick, I wanted to highlight the part in that article I mentioned, and it said Green Bay has been so oriented towards offense and the quarterback for so long, and to such great benefit that other areas seem to matter only when the team performs badly enough to cost the Packers catastrophically. Look at Seattle in 2014, and San Francisco last month. In both cases, worst case scenario failures forced Green Bay to focus on special teams, but only temporarily. So it was just kind of talking about the idea of like, okay, we understand, like now y'all see it's a problem because what happened in this game, but is this going to be something that you continue to highlight going forward?
So question, because obviously I haven't read that article. Like to them, like what does focus on special teams mean?
There's a lot that goes into special teams. So like not just the coverage team.
Well, like, did you read that? Because like
No,
I want to know like what the criteria is.
Gotcha.
Like
It's just been an after, just talking about how they built their roster, because the Packers, I believe, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, so I'm pretty sure you would know this. The Packers have the least amount of starters that play on special teams around the NFL. And one thing that Matt LaFleur mentioned during his conference was that, he was going to spend time researching around the league to see how many starters tend to play on special teams. Like he doesn't even like that. I feel like that's
something you should know.
Baseline information, which goes to show again just how much special teams is kind of like, hey, we got our offense together, we got our defense together. Figure out just to fill this part up over here.
Whoever we ain't using, just throw them out there. Figure it out.
Figure that out. So just hoping to make it more of a priority, because if you look at where Green Bay has finished in special teams just over the last, 10 years, it's quite disgusting.
Special teams unit has been disgusting. It's been
as a whole,
disgusting.
because like we've had the good kicker, which is a great point. We've had some
good punters from here and there.
Here and there is the key part. But like,
because for a while it was our punt coverage. Like
coverage has been a problem for a while. And we just haven't had a dynamic, and we haven't had a dynamic returner.
No, and that was supposed to be Amari Rodgers this year. Because we knew we weren't gonna use him like that, but we said we would use him in the return game. That motherfucker was muffing shit.
I mean, again, like they've used the resources like draft capital wise.
Yeah.
The Raiders actually had the playoff team with the highest percentage of special team snaps played by starters were the Raiders. So,
so it might be a change in philosophy when we get here.
Side, like, do you actually want starters on the kick?
I've seen like starting tight ends.
It just depends on the player itself and their role. Because like I thought about like when you saw Kansas City, I was like, oh, so they're just gonna throw Tyreek Hill back here for it, like just. And it's not like he's their normal returner,
right? Like it was a break pass
like,
in case of emergency. But like I actually did see something that says that the NFL is prioritizing, like they're putting together a task force to address like
the injuries
on special teams. They said like a higher percentage of, and I don't have the exact numbers, but like a higher percentage of injuries occur, like catastrophic injuries occur on special teams, like compared to offense versus defense, because like they're high collision.
running full
plays,
speed,
right?
Yeah.
Like, so like they're trying to figure out a way to decrease injuries on special teams,
Makes
which
sense.
really just means like eliminate special
I was
teams.
gonna say, they
but-
slowly been getting rid of it.
right, like and they said that like now punt returns are the most dangerous play
I can see that.
because it used to be kickoffs, but now like 60% of kickoffs end in a touchback.
Because they moved the line up and they eliminated wedges.
Yeah, like they done a lot of things like about like double team blocks, crackback blocks, like stuff
Mhm.
like that they're trying to take out of special teams. Like basically they're trying to make it
The
they're
Pro
trying to
Bowl.
minimize like the number of returns anyway.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can't help it. You can't score.
It just kind of.
Well, no. I mean, I'm saying like they want more like
Touchback.
60% touchbacks.
Right.
Like that's a good rate for them, and they probably want it higher because like they don't want people. But like really, I just incentivize people to make bad decisions to come out of the end zone and
return it.
Um,
Just to wrap up the special teams talk, to Mark's point in the comments, if the Packers were just average in special teams, they'd probably be in the Super Bowl right now.
yeah, definitely would
So-
have been at 14.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like I'm not expecting us to go from last to first or anything like that. I just need us to
Bisaccia is how you pronounce it.
say it again.
Bisaccia.
Bisaccia. Okay.
Sounds like Biaccia.
Sound like Versace.
Versace.
Is that Versace?
That's gonna help me
Spell
remember how
Versace.
to say his name.
F.O.
Versace.
Versace.
I actually did have one last thing on Bisaccia, if you're done
Go
with the
ahead.
point. So apparently he is tight with Rod Marinelli. Like Rod Marinelli, former Lions coach, is like his best friend.
Mhm.
And
Good defensive
Rod
coordinator.
Marinelli, I don't know why I can't say his name, but that guy,
Marinelli.
he is the father-in-law of Joe Barry, who is the Packers defensive coordinator. So like basically it was just like they leveraged that
Connection.
relationship to get him this job. But it's like that's kind of the problem with NFL hiring, is like it's not merit based, it's relationship
Who you
based.
know.
It's like who you know
And the
to
thing,
get you in.
the
Like
thing with that too is like the NFL is a great example, but that's really life.
Yeah.
Period. Like it's,
Yeah.
it's really about networking and who you know to help you get you into certain doors.
They
And
put you on.
for this particular hire, they had to convince him.
mhm.
They had to bring out a big bag
Mhm.
to get him to come be special teams coordinator because he was probably just like, I was just an interim head coach. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Let me tell you what we're gonna pay you though. And ain't this your guy? Come on, man, your guy over here too.
Just give us a year, bro. Teach somebody real quick. Teach these motherfuckers. Leave one of your best assistants. You know, we'll give you this bag. Go back to where you want
We
to go.
got you. We got you.
But my wider point, I guess, is that it's not just in this instance.
Oh,
like
it's-
if you look at
It's the NFL.
coaching staffs, like
Yeah.
it's always this is the son of whoever, this is
Mhm.
the grandson of whoever, this
Yep.
is the son-in-law, or this
He
is
was the ball boy for the team for the last 15
the
years.
godson of this guy, or like it's always like
He
like
adapted,
there's always
yeah.
a connection. Like the only way
Yeah.
that like for the most part, the only way that black coaches get in is like they played in the NFL. Like
Yeah.
there's only one avenue for a black coach to get into coaching, whereas there are all types of back doors for white people that are legacies.
Losing ass coach.
So that's part of the problem with diversity in the NFL, because when your previous coaches and front office guys and whatnot were predominantly white, and you're talking about leveraging those networks, it's going to continue being a predominantly white network.
Which to your point is life.
Yeah.
So,
So-
that's why things like affirmative action, things like the Bruni Rule are necessary, because there's a leg up that people get that
Yeah.
is kind
Mhm.
of like hidden,
Mhm.
but not hidden.
So as a reminder, just to everybody out there listening, make sure you out here networking.
Yeah.
And I'll say it one more time: Twitter is the greatest app
Don't burn bridges.
of all time. Some of you can burn, but
Torch them bitches.
no, I think Twitter for the networking. The Phoenix Mercury have signed Tina Charles.
Dog.
Listen,
Phoenix Mercury got a squad, fam. Like,
They
They-
really do.
they announced that signing a day after they added Diamond to Shields.
Yes.
So now that's a roster, in addition to those two, that has Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, and Skylar Diggins-Smith. Like they were considered a super team last year when they just had Taurasi and
what's the
Diggins.
power forward's name? Because she cold too. Who's that?
Yeah, she is cold.
Oh, Taylor Rooks. Yes. Fuck. I don't remember. I'll find it. But no, they
You know what I'm saying?
were
Got
deep, too.
distracted. My bad. I'm sorry, Charlie Murphy. It's having too much fun.
But yeah, they definitely got a squad over there. And then we saw Liz Cambage. She committed to play with the Los Angeles Sparks.
Boo. That's cool. I'm jumping to the Mercury for
Why'd you boo?
Because like I wanted Liz to stay in Vegas. Like I like the Aces.
She knew where to come on.
Hey, if you like Vegas, you like Vegas. It don't matter who they're in, right?
See,
All right.
he ain't a real
I'm
nigga.
I'm
He ain't a real
Look.
nigga.
You cheer for her wherever she go.
So yeah, the Sparks were able to sign Kane Page after they traded Erica Wheeler to Atlanta for Chinade Carter. The Sparks also signed Katie Lou Samuelson. So the Sparks putting together a nice team as well.
Still got Derek Fisher though, so good luck.
Yeah, and he's the GM and coach, so
They got that nigga more power.
he got all the power.
Good fucking luck.
He ran Candace Parker out of town,
Exactly.
and they
And she
gave
turned around
him
and got a chip on his ass.
they gave him a promotion.
Immediately. motherfucker. Immediately.
Like, oh, I got something for you.
Dallas signed Enrique Ogunbowale, and Las Vegas signed Asia Wilson to 3-year Supermax contracts. So Dallas got them a Supermax player, and Vegas got them a Supermax player. Shout out to Enrique 414.
414.
All the love.
Hey,
NBA trades.
it's been so fun. It's been so fun so far. We're gearing up. I like the trade deadline. I do. At least when it's trades happening.
A whole lot of shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic. If you ask me. But,
So the trade deadline is Thursday. As we're
Mhm.
recording this, February 10th. Today's the 8th, but the trade deadline is the 10th. And ahead of the deadline, there have been a few trades made since we were last in studio. So we're gonna cover those real quick and give some feedback on those. You know how that goes. The Portland Trailblazers, they've made a few trades.
blowing it up.
Actually,
In the name of Dame.
the 4 trades that have been made since we've been here, 2 around the Blazers and 2 around the Pacers. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about what the Blazers did first, and then the Pacers.
For sure.
Same Blazers and Pacers back to back is kind of a weird, like they kind of, I don't know, something about, I don't know.
You know what I tried to say 5 times fast? It was hard.
What?
Ronda Rousey wins the Royal Rumble.
I ain't
Ronda
even finna show that shit.
No, wait, what?
Fuck.
Ronda Rousey wins the Royal Rumble.
Shit.
Ronda
Yeah.
I tried to do that whole thing. Holy shit.
Rousey wins the Royal Rumble. Ronda Rousey wins the Royal Rumble. Ronda Rousey wins the Royal. No,
Hey,
no.
Got it tough. I like it.
And Mark pointed out before we move on to WNBA news that Sylvia Fowles is going to retire after the 2022 season.
Yep. Her and Sue Bird, maybe Tarasi.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But the Blazers traded Robert Covington and Norm Powell to the Clippers for Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a future 2nd-round pick. Real quick, I'm gonna say it again. Y'all need to get off my boy Bledsoe back, fam.
Man,
Y'all be acting like he like
There, wait.
doggone. I can't even think of somebody who's super trash, but like I ain't saying he an all-star or nothing like that, but golly,
He's
y'all
still a
like,
good defender.
he ain't an unproductive player. Like
I think with the
I just
Clippers,
wanted to-
what was he doing with the Clippers? Like,
he was a good,
like 12 and some change?
I don't know what his numbers were, but he was a positive impact.
like he was off
on
the bench
team.
too, I believe. So like that's what I wanted him to do it for the Bucks, but regardless,
Hey, might not be too late.
it might not. What do y'all feel about how? Okay, well, I'm gonna do these both together because it just makes sense not to talk about one of these outside of a vacuum. The Blazers also traded CJ McCollum, Larry Nance, and Tony Snell. Speaking of the former Buck, to the Pelicans for Josh Hart. Is it Nicola? Alexander
Nikhil.
Walker? Nikhil Alexander Walker, Didi Louisa, and
Lusana.
a protected 2022 first-round pick and 2 second-round picks.
They didn't include Saturansky. I thought he was in the deal.
That's what I have
Tomas.
written here.
Somebody was in the doc when I was trying to type it out, so I think it got deleted. But yes, I think Saturansky is in the deal.
Okay.
Either way, it don't matter.
The point is, the Blazers are doing a fire sale. There were some people I saw saying like poor Dame, and
They doing it for him, right?
yes, Dame of course has signed off on this because what we have last heard about Dame when he came out and talked to himself, he said, "Yay, I might sell this whole season if it makes sense for the team going forward. Like I don't have a problem with getting better draft picks." Once I heard him say that, I was like, okay, you all in on the
On the tank.
on the tank, tank going on. But and Dame has also said too, like he saw Giannis win the championship in Milwaukee, and that changed his mind because he was going back and forth about if he wanted to leave Portland or not. But when he saw Giannis winning, he went, "Nah, I want to stay here." So it seems like the Blazers are just doing a tear down around them, and they're going to try to shore up their horses for 2023.
May the
So
odds forever be in
they're
your
cutting, like they're cutting salary going forward, which CJ, I think, had 3 years left. Powell had 3 years left. So like now they basically turn those salary slots into zeros. I think I have like how much.
Yeah, they got a $21 million trade exemption by trading CJ, and then they potentially $60 million in cap space this summer and assets from deals with the Clippers and the Pelicans. So they're gonna try to go after some high end talent.
And that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to try to sign somebody outright in free agency. Like they could use that money to absorb
a contract.
21 million trade exception is a big.
That's a big exemption.
Like you can get somebody. You want it to last for a year.
Yep. So they have until February 8th of next year.
Which is probably gonna be around the trade deadline again.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Nice to have
and I think
options.
I saw that they're still in on Jeremy Grant. So like they may reroute some of these assets that they picked up over the last 3 days or whatever. Like just to pick up more talent in different spots. So like it may be a deal where it's like, oh, they traded CJ, but like they got back Grant. So it's kind of like a CJ for Grant
type of deal, but not like straight up.
Just complicated.
Dollar wise.
And it's like it clearly like what the Blazers had wasn't working around that. Like it worked for years, like for a successful basketball team that got to the playoffs, but like Dame clearly has higher expectations at this point. So it's time to go in a different direction. And if he's out for the rest of the year anyway, it's kind of, regather yourselves, get as high of a draft pick as possible, which you could then use to kind of flip and get a good player in the offseason as well. Like, imagine you get like the 6th pick and then New Orleans don't make the playoffs and then you get the 13th pick. So 6, 13 plus a $21 million trade exception. You can kind of do some damage with that. Yeah. Potentially. Or the fact that you have $60 million in cap space. Like you can,
and you got, like you said,
or like think about it, like if July 1st comes and James Harden doesn't get traded now, but like he opts out, and then like the Sixers just have to cut salary. They can just trade Tobias Harris into cap space. That opens up their max spot, and then Tobias Harris is still a good player that they just picked up for free because somebody needs to shed salary. So it's like it gives you more flexibility.
And I guarantee you, Dame is texting. He's trying to make some calls, trying to get some things lined up. But because I mean, honestly, like the 2022 free agent class isn't necessarily like a
banger
big one.
Bean, Beal, Harden, basically.
Yeah,
and the last two are kind of maybes.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see how that works out. But honestly, for the Blazers, like they had to do something. So I'm not mad at this being the something that they did. It had to happen. We heard all the rumors leading up to it about how moves were going to be made, how CJ probably was gone. CJ said goodbye like 2 months ago. So it just kind of makes sense. Meanwhile, the Pacers.
The other teams.
The other team. So the first trade that landed the Clippers, Norman Powell and Robert Covington. How do y'all feel that about the move?
That was a good trade for the Clippers.
Yeah,
it was a great trade for the Clippers.
Yeah, for sure.
What was the key out of that? Keon Johnson.
Yeah, Keon Johnson, because he's a young prospect. Who has potential.
25th pick, I think, in the draft.
He's like 19, I think.
Oh yeah, he's so
that's
it was a great trade for the Clippers. Norman Powell turned around and lit our ass up.
Okay, first of all,
in a 30-point loss.
Norman Powell always likes the Bucks. So I want Clipper fans to be aware.
When it comes to the Bucks.
When it comes to the Bucks, Norm be cooking. But
Van Vliet.
So I just don't. I might want to lower the bar a little bit. The first game to get the Bucks. That's a good matchup for Norm. So
don't know why, bro.
Yeah, just be like that.
They drafted him and traded him.
Yeah, that too. That chip on the shoulder.
It'd be like that.
I was pissed when we traded him too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did not want that Vasquez trade.
Yeah,
and we traded it first. What the fuck we doing?
I like it for the Clippers. I like it for the Clippers. This is another move that feels to me like more so made for next year than this year, because I don't think we're going to see Kawhi back this season, and Paul George, they haven't really said too much about what it's looking like for him. And we've seen them playing without those two, and they have a good, like, the team is good. They need superstars.
Yeah. It kind of remind me of that year before they got Kawhi and PG, like the team with like Lou Will, Pat Bev,
that scrappy.
all them.
Like they good. You're just missing that one piece, and then they had two,
and they lost a lot of those little pieces around that made that team special. Ken, let me ask you this as a Lakers fan, and you're seeing how the Clippers are gearing up Do they make you nervous?
No, Clippers never make me nervous.
Never?
I don't care who they have.
They y'all Cowboys.
Yep.
Oh,
Fuck them
Shell.
always. Glad they getting
What's
their
up,
own
Shells?
stadium.
Join the chat.
What's good,
What's
honey?
good, bro?
Okay.
He even said hi to Mark.
Look at people making friends in the
Right,
chat.
right.
Fam. Okay, I see y'all.
Making friends.
Making friends in the chat. I see y'all out here. So when it comes to the Pelicans, who got CJ McCollum, Larry Nance, and Tony Snell,
Mhm.
how do y'all feel about the Pelicans going forward?
Who's playing defense?
Yeah, they lost Josh Hart.
Herb Jones gonna be looking like the
By
Popeyes, that Popeyes worker that was just exhausted.
Shit. Leave him on the perimeter. Shit. Stay in front of him, goddamn.
Oh man, Valanciunas can get dunked on so much.
Yep.
He finna get hella boards though.
Yeah,
Because he gonna change some shots. He's still 7 feet.
You gonna be
Yeah.
fighting for? I mean, you can be.
he gonna
7
be
feet and
fighting
get
for his
dunked on.
fucking life.
But he's the thing about Valanciunas is he's not. It's not like he's trash. So I'll
no,
give
he's
him.
not. He's just not. A
I'm just saying,
defensive
like,
oriented-
If you defending like 20 shots at the rim per game,
bound
like,
to
you
get
gonna
dunked
get
on.
dunked on. Like it's just like Giannis gets dunked on. Like it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's
It's
just
occupational hazard.
Damn.
Shell said none of the trades made sense to me.
well, just wait. We're gonna make it make sense.
Yeah, we was talking about the Blazers already, so you might want to rewind a little bit if you can.
And so like people, I feel like get so blinded by contracts that like they forget like some of these dudes are good players. Like, and sometimes you just need talent. So like
Mhm.
CJ in New Orleans, like that's the best guard they've had since Drew.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they've been missing Drew because their offense has really only been Brandon Ingram,
Yeah.
and when he
Yeah.
wasn't playing, like it's terrible. It's terrible. Like when he's off the floor, like their offense just completely stalls.
And if Zion ever comes back, like you putting good players around him.
I guess
Like,
that's a big if at this point. I
it-
don't know what's going on with Zion.
I still feel like he's trying to force his way out, but we gonna see.
I mean, like that Zion piece is a big part of it because if you have Zion who comes back, because like they still don't have like a great lead guard. Like CJ he's good off ball.
I'm curious to see like what because like he's always played with Dame. Like obviously there have been fits and
Unleash-
starts like where like Dame's been hurt and like he got to run the show. But like
Mhm.
honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to like seeing what CJ can do as a point guard. Like
See him
because he's
run the
never
show.
been
That's
able to do that.
That's
And
right.
like Devontae Graham is better off the bench anyway. So like you're not losing.
God, absolutely, absolutely better off the bench. The Pelicans will miss Josh Hart though.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He's had I think career season for him. Is that
Yeah.
is that me over
No,
exaggerating or is it?
yeah.
I mean, he's like the epitome of a solid a good role
Yes,
player.
He's
Like
the kind of role
he's always
player
been like
that
that, though.
every contender should want.
would,
Yeah.
yes. So like they're gonna miss him, but
And like it's trade, so like you got to give up something of value to get something of value, which we'll get to later. But
Mhm.
like I'm not upset with teams that have been trashed for forever that are trying to take next steps, like to bring in more talent. Like people clown Chicago over the offseason, like, oh, what are they doing? It's like sometimes just bring in good players and they figure it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the Lakers, so you know, like
Yeah, should do none of this. Yeah, should do none of this. Nothing that's going on right now.
but my point being is just like sometimes you just gotta make a play for talent and see what happens.
and here's the thing with the Pelicans. As weird as this sounds, when the season started, they were trash.
Mhm.
And now they're like the 10 seed. And if you look at the rest of the West, they're really only playing against the Spurs for that 10 seed. So they
And now
can be
the
a play.
Kings.
And I guess now the Kings, but so like they can be a playing team and try to make something happen. And if Zion does come back, if I haven't heard anything about what's going on with Zion, but
I
if
feel
he
like he's
comes back,
rehabbing in Portland too, so that'd be interesting.
well, hey, they can have something that can make some noise in the play-in tournament this season.
Oh man, can you imagine if the Lakers and New Orleans had to play in the playing game in New Orleans? I mean, I don't think that would happen because I think the Lakers are too far ahead. But
Listen,
Aaron-
some fans would
Anthony
be at
Davis.
Anthony Davis' head.
I bet he had dropped 30 a night though.
probably
He probably would. He probably have
Yeah,
a career game.
He is.
I will say
He gonna cook and do wrong.
because again, like
Yeah.
Valanciunas and Zion potentially on the front line. Like, yeah.
like nah, like just give it to AD. Just give it to AD.
Yeah, he gonna cook.
So on the Pacers side, they traded Karis LeVert in a 2022 second round pick. That's from Miami to Cleveland for Ricky Rubio, a lottery protected 2022 first round pick, a 2022 second round pick from Houston, and a 2027 second round pick from Utah. And then also they sent Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, and a 2027 second round pick. I wonder if it's one I just got. To Sacramento for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson.
first trade, Caris LeVert, like that's the easiest. Like it made sense. They
That's a good
lost
pickup.
plenty guards.
Mhm.
They need scoring.
That was a good pickup.
Yeah,
That was
I
a
like
great
that.
yeah, that's a
pickup.
great pickup for them.
I mean, he's kind of ball hoggy, so but like they need just
They
like
did that
They
one
need a
too.
guard. Yeah.
yeah. Jordan Clarkson, like that's the thought that I had. Like when Jordan Clarkson got traded to Utah, it's like sometimes you just need a dude to go get you a bucket.
Plus, he can pass when he wants to because he was running the show for a little bit with the Nets.
That was a long
time ago.
What are like a season
like
and a
how-
half?
I like how everybody just hit you with your own shit.
No, that's from
I know, like, he
oh,
always
yeah,
say
yeah,
it though.
yeah. No, Caris LeVert's averaging like 4.5 assists this season, so it's not terrible.
There's a clip going around of him like blowing up a play in Indiana, and like both Carlisle and Duarte were both like, "What the fuck?" So reputation wise, like
Yeah,
he
it's
can
there.
go G.
It's
So
there. But I like the move as well. I don't really have anything more to add to that. Like,
Cleveland is. I gotta go back and find out what I said about Cleveland before the season started.
we're gonna have you got about 2 weeks to figure it out because we got something to do.
Yeah, I know. No, but for our preseason predictions, I'm pretty sure.
that's what you're talking
That's what I'm
about.
talking
Oh,
about.
yeah,
Because
okay.
we're gonna readdress what we were talking about
for sure.
All Star.
Oh, did I look it up?
Which I was just listening to that podcast, and I was like, ooh, some of these takes, they already didn't.
Debunked.
Yeah, but some of them we were on the money. Okay, I want to point out what we said about the Pelicans in our NBA preview show. We
I feel like
kinda,
most of us were high on Chicago too.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
especially Ken.
That was very
Uh,
Ken jumped out the window on Chicago.
Yeah, but I mean,
I know.
Landed
he landed.
like a damn cat. Oh, he's landing on his damn
I
feet.
saw it. I seen it.
I seen
You can see that later.
Yeah, we was all wrong on LA. But
I'm gonna text you all night about this damn game. I'm gonna stay up just for you.
Hey,
Do
man,
not
don't jinx
disturb.
And when you see 30 notifications on your message bar, my nigga.
He just gonna delete the whole thread. Don't even open it.
just keep tweeting on fam. He can't delete the tweets, fam.
Oh, I see.
Only you can delete your tweets.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I like the move for Cleveland. As for Indiana getting rid of Caris LeVert,
They saved 18 million off their cap for next year, which again, like if you're blowing it up, like that makes
it makes sense. So other Pacers move Sabonis, Lamb, and Holiday to Sacramento for Halliburton, Hield, and Tristan Thompson. The first thing I did was go to Kings Reddit.
Mm-hmm. They
And,
are suicidal.
They
Big mad.
The
Yeah.
first thing I saw, it just said F this team 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Multiple times. Over and over and
Hey.
over and over. With comments underneath it saying, like, I feel like someone just strangled my dog in front of me. So effing whack. They had one job. Please keep Halliburton.
They do got one job. Trade for a big man. Pick up a big man, bro.
To play with
Play
Halliburton.
with Halliburton. Like, they wanted to keep Halliburton. Like, Kings fans would have been ecstatic if they were able to keep Halliburton and get Sabonis.
Mhm.
But that's
They
not
are
the way.
going
Yeah, they are going through it.
Yeah, they really going through it, Shells. Like, they
The first thing
Can
I thought of,
can I
though,
can I be the optimist for Kings fans?
go
Sure.
ahead.
Like this feels like that Family Guy skit where it's like they offer you a boat and then they offer you the mystery box.
and
it's
take
like-
the mystery box. No, just get the boat.
No, it's a mystery box. It could be anything. It could even be a boat. And it's like,
Will it take
just
the fucking boat? No.
like Demonis Sabonis is a 2-time All-Star. He's 25 years old, like
25.
automatic double. Like
the
he's a good player. He's probably the best player that y'all have had since Boogie.
It's the boat.
And it's take the boat. Like if Halliburton becomes a 2-time All-Star by the age of 25, like then he'll be just as good as well, not just you get what I'm saying. Like it's the same level of player. Like
Mhm.
you don't know what Halliburton can be,
Yeah.
so you build it up in your mind. Like, oh man, we could just like
We can see the ceiling.
And we
for the next
saw
10, 15
we
years.
saw how that can go wrong because we saw how Laker fans were with THT.
Mhm.
Oh boy, y'all. Woo,
'cause
blew the
y'all-
bag on that one.
And now he the prime
He ain't worth a
trade
damn.
chip.
Get him out of
He
here.
ain't worth a damn.
Get him
Last
out
year,
of
we
here.
not
Because
trading.
he the only one that's
THT.
worth a damn that we can get some.
Who
Him
was
and,
it that y'all-
Kendrick Nunn. That's all. Only 2 trade chips. y'all got.
Allegedly,
Who was that they turned down because they didn't want to give up THT? It was a superstar. Who was they trying to get last year? Y'all was trying to get somebody last year,
Kyle
and they
Lowry.
wanted.
There were
Yeah, it's Kyle
There
Lowry
were conversations
at the trade deadline, and they wanted to get THT, and y'all said, "Hell no, this is our future.
Next to LeBron.
Anybody but THT.
Hey, they supposed to be Bron, bro.
Anybody but this young nigga, man. He getting his shit off. Now y'all can't wait to get him out the door."
My point is, like, it's not even like he like CJ is 30, so it's like I get it, like he's further along, like he's not on the timeline of the rest of the people on your team. Like I will understand like a little bit apprehension, but like he's 25.
Yeah,
Like
he's young.
he's closer in age to De'Aaron Fox. So like you can say that you're down on De'Aaron Fox, and it's like, oh, look what Halliburton did when Fox was out. Look what Fox did before Halliburton got there. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you got to give up stuff to get stuff.
And
that was your best value.
And
Yeah,
it's-
De'Aaron Fox is 24, so him and Sabonis are actually like in
they may work
line.
well because
Yeah.
he ain't got another big in his way that's trying to dominate like Miles Turner.
Well, I mean, they still the Kings still got some.
They got
They got a
some
million
on their-
bigs,
on
that's
their-
what they think.
yeah, They still got some bigs in their roster. they
But
need
ain't
to-
nobody Sabonis level where he got to look over his shoulder.
No, like Sabonis is clearly the best big on the
Mhm.
roster.
And he'll go into that knowing that, as opposed to, like I said, with the Miles Turner thing, where they like, oh, is it you or him? You or him? Even though, no. He'll be fine over there with the Kings. I think his confidence will go up. He'll probably just like, you know what, embrace the suck. And I'm just going
Embrace the suck.
Yeah, bro.
And it's been 16 going on 17 years that the Kings haven't been in the playoffs. And like, so at a certain point, it's like we got to make moves to try to be good. Like even like good should be a baseline at this point. Like you gotta be trying to get to that to that level. It can't just be like keep selling the future, keep selling the future, keep selling the future. It's like, okay, at some point you got to cash in. And like I will say, like, maybe the person that they cashed in for might not be the best deal that they could have gotten. Because, like, if I think Woj reported, like, the league was stunned. that
Everybody like, bro,
this
we've
trade
been trying
went
to get
through.
this nigga. Bro.
So it's like if you would put Halliburton out, like, open bidding, like we have this deal from, like, you have this deal from the Pacers in your back pocket. Like, can you go get Jaylen Brown? Can you go get, hell, like, can you get in with Bill? Can you get in with Lillard?
Can
like,
you get in with Simmons?
I mean, apparently, like, they turned down. No, Philly wanted Fox and Halliburton for Simmons. So it's like, fuck Philly. But
y'all
like,
wildin' for
a
this guy.
rational front office, like, would you be able to get something better than Sabonis? Not saying Sabonis is bad, but
Yeah,
like
Sabonis
maybe
is
the
up there.
opportunity cost that you forfeited by just jumping on this deal.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like, I don't think that this is reason to like stop rooting for the Kings or to be upset. It's like you're getting like a good player, and like maybe it's like Chris Webber going to Sacramento.
It
Like
could
maybe
be
it
just like that.
changes his career, and like now this is what propels you on your run.
I like that optimism coming from you for the Kings
Yeah, I guess
fans
to
out here.
piggyback on your optimism, Tyrese Halliburton 2 weeks ago said he wanted to be the change for the franchise. He wanted to be able to help fix this place. And then you kind of could if this works out. You would be the catalyst for the change of this place. So you still would have fixed it.
Hell no.
That's wild.
I mean, it's true.
I'm not, and I also get it from Indiana side. So I'm not saying like anybody lost their trade. I'm just saying like all the people jumping out the window because like, oh my god, they traded Halliburton for Sabonis. It's like Sabonis ain't trash. Like Sabonis is by far the best player in this deal.
I mean,
and you shed Buddy's money, which apparently they didn't want him anymore.
We knew that.
Yeah,
Like,
they've been trying to get rid of Buddy for him.
Honestly, Justin Holiday's probably better than Buddy anyway. So like you made an upgrade there.
And cheaper.
Hella cheap.
So I don't know. Like
It's
just the,
we'll
you know,
see.
like it just snowballs because like everybody's like, oh, you, and it's like, well, you know, it's about potential. Like, yeah, like maybe Tyrese Halliburton is a perennial all-star, or maybe Tyrese Halliburton is Malcolm Brogdon, which isn't bad, but it's like that's not the guys you build your franchise around.
Nope. And yeah, I was looking up Malcolm Brogdon earlier, and I was like, man, my man has had some tough injury luck this season in particular. Really, since he left the Bucks. I mean, when he's on the Bucks too, it's just been some tough injury luck. So I
Keep
hope
talking about Malcolm. I got a stat for you.
I hope my play cousin, Malcolm Brogdon, can get healthy, get back on that court soon. Because I am kind of curious. Like, I wonder which pieces in Indiana are being considered as like their core going forward. Like, now that Sabonis is out the door, do y'all think that Miles Turner might actually stay because he's free to be?
Apparently, he's
soul
ecstatic about the trade.
You see his meme? You see his tweet?
No, that's what Woj reported.
He had a tweet. It was Ken's brother, Bigums, old boy, Spice Adams. He was doing like a little spin-a-rooney.
Ain't that a bit of bitch?
He did a spin-a-rooney and he tweeted out a gif of him doing like the spin-a-rooney or some shit like that. I was like, oh, okay.
After the trade, because that's kind
After
of
the
That's
trade.
disrespectful.
That's- I mean,
Let me see. I'm gonna find it for you.
While you looking that up, so Malcolm Brogdon has played in 138 regular season games since joining the Pacers. The Pacers are 72-66 in those games. The Milwaukee Bucks have won 135 regular season games since Brogdon
he
joined the
posted
Pacers.
that at 8:46 this morning before the trade broke.
Maybe he already knew.
No, if he knew it, would have got out at 8:46 this
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah. So I don't think those two things are related. We ain't gonna
Shit, I do. I'm gonna go roll with it.
we ain't gonna.
I'm gonna roll with it. Because sometimes they know, like, hey, we gonna roll with you for the future. We finna get Sabonis up out of here.
They could still trade him too.
They could, but what if that conversation was, we gonna stick with you? We gonna get rid of
This
Sabonis.
then this would also be what's the word when it's too early to do something? Preemptive.
Mhm.
Because
They could still get him about the paint.
Because like that trade could have fallen apart in between, like when
Yes.
they told him and when.
yes, and also he could get traded still, and then now where he's spinning in
whatever land he gonna be
That's
in.
what I'm saying. Like I don't think the two things are related, but it's interesting.
I do wonder if his injury kind of shift. Well, I mean, I guess if you get in Halliburton, like they probably wouldn't make that deal anyway. But it seems like if they chose him over Sabonis, but again, like if Halliburton's on the table, like you probably would have took that.
I was gonna say, or it's just that Sabonis got the best return back,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
which I would assume he would get the better return back. So yeah, that's what's going on there. So there's some other trade deadline rumors that have been going on. There's been scuttlebutt about James Harden. Different reports that have come out. First, talking about Harden's been frustrated with the Nets, in large part because what he's been getting ain't what he was promised ain't been what he's getting. And then also they say that there have been some concerns from like the coaching staff and just people on the net side saying that they have concerns over his play style.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Steve Nash came out himself and said that we ain't trading James Harden. And there were some other Nets brass that were also just mentioning the fact that, we're trying to win the championship. And us trading James Harden this year does not get us close to a championship. That's not happening. So I'm going to just ask y'all this. Do y'all think James Harden is traded at this trade deadline?
I'm gonna still go hold on to the faith and say yes. Because it's either you trade him now or he walks as a free agent.
No, you can still trade him in the offseason.
You can do a sign-in trade.
Yeah, you can work some out.
I guess the question comes down to does
He has
Harden?
Shell said Nets tanking.
Doesn't he have to agree to a sign-in trade too?
Yeah, everybody has to agree to
yeah.
that. Like it's a mutual.
He ain't mutual with him right now.
But
Well, that's why I was getting ready to say is like it kind of depends on if he comes to them before the trade deadline. It's like, hey, I'm trying to get out of here, and if they be like, no, then that poisons the well, and he's like, all right, well, I'm
saw what I
definitely
did in
gone in June,
Houston.
right? I'm definitely gone in June, so you can either follow, get down now or lay down later. Like either way, it's gonna happen.
we'll lay down later. That's why I will say the Nets, but we'll lay later. That's cool.
Sound like the fucking 76ers.
But again, like to your point, like what did he do in Houston? Like he can really torpedo this shit, like if he wants to.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But I would hope so. I don't think he gets traded. And I think that his relationship with KD and predominantly KD will keep him from going full Houston. That's my hope, because when he was in Houston, it was really just him at that point. And Russ, but we know how that goes. So
well, no, it's John Wall by that point.
oh yeah, and so it was just him. So I think in
And
this
Boogie was finna whip
situation,
his
I think in this situation with the Nets, given the fact that they really do have a shot to win a title, that he does not get traded and that he doesn't go full Houston in Brooklyn. But I definitely,
that's why I say it depends on like what he said. Like if because apparently he hasn't had a conversation with anybody thus far. Although the way that they're phrasing things in reports, like it sounds like the Nets are like, well, we think he's injured. Like we want to believe that he's injured. Like there's a little bit of tightness that comes up on the MRI, and like maybe it's just like the malaise, and maybe KD being out and Kyrie being part-time, like it's kind of contributing to like him not playing well and blah, blah, blah. Like they're making excuses for why it kind of seems like he's quit on the team, like since these reports came out.
Yeah.
But like they're like, he hasn't had a conversation with us. Like he hasn't made it clear to us that he wants to leave. Like he says that he's all in and wants to stay here. So if that continues to be the case, like they're not gonna trade him, because like why would you? But again, like if he comes and says like, yo, I'm out, like they kind of have to.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then they're really screwing themselves.
So do you think he gets traded, Ken?
No, I think he's definitely not gonna get traded this year.
Yeah, I don't think so. Did you say yes or no at this you kind of gave like a lot
I
of
said it depends.
So your gut, yes or no, is he traded at this deadline?
I don't know. I'm getting in the head of James Harden.
All right. So we got
Yes.
you think he will get traded?
Yes.
Okay. 1 yes, 2 no's. Okay.
And
And
the motherfucking
the New York Post has been reporting for a couple of weeks now that everybody on the Nets is available for the right price, including Julius Randle.
On the Knicks. I said Nets.
My fault. On the Knicks. So the Knicks thought they'd be better than what they are. I thought last year was a building block year for them, but in reality, it was a peak. It appears. So
It's a dummy brick.
yeah, we'll see what happens in New York. And then another one to bring up. So Bradley Beal, report came out today that he's actually going to be undergoing season-ending surgery on his left wrist. So we've seen the last of Beal. Seen the last of Beal this season in Washington, but there has been talk around him saying that he's not rejecting the notion of getting traded elsewhere. It's a big summer coming up for Beal. So
being done for the season.
yeah, so him being done for the season, I think might change if he's traded this deadline. I think that takes the possibility of him getting traded. That lowers it? Yes.
This is a contract year too.
I mean, maybe because like again, like if he identifies the team that he wants to go to, like it may make more sense to do it now than to wait till the summer.
But
Yeah, if he has a team, but from everything I saw, it doesn't seem like he has like a destination where he's like, I want to go here. It's just more so of him being like,
I'm open to it.
if you can find
I'm
something, let me know.
because he has a contract this summer. Like he has a decision to make.
Yeah.
I wonder if whatever team. Well, I wonder if he has to get that. Whatever team go trade for him probably would like that assurance, unless it's like a really high contender that's giving up a bunch of shit for a one time.
But if he's not gonna play the rest of the season, then it don't matter.
Because he can't play this season.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I was like, I think it might lower the chance of an in-season trade, but like I don't think it could. We could have seen him play for the last time in a Wizards jersey.
Honestly, I think that he's more likely to take the bag and then figure it out later. Because and that's to me why it's like, okay, if I'm Washington, like, do you want to give him 5 years, $250 million or
They
whatever?
throwing it at him.
They're throwing him like what they can allow right now. Like they haven't said like, well, I mean, they can't say, we're gonna supermax you in the offseason. So it's like if I'm Washington, it's like if you're building around Bradley Beal, like what are you actually doing? Because like we've seen for the last 4 years or whatever since he overtook John Wall, it's like I don't know if he a number one. Like it might be he a great number two.
He could be a great 2A, 1B, whatever you want to slice it.
3 hours ago, he said, I look forward to coming back at 100% and continuing to lead this team as we work together to build toward the future. Bradley Beal.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sounds something.
I mean, he ain't gonna say "fuck you, niggas, I'm out of here."
I've heard enough, but we'll see.
Good luck to him
We'll
when his
see.
rehab and
So I forgot to say this, and I just looked at Shell's comment about the Nets tanking again. Joe Harris. We last heard that he had the ankle problem. He might be back in a few weeks, and now they're saying he might need a second surgery. So now Joe Harris might not play at all this season, which I think is a real big loss for the Nets because they're already so top heavy, and Joe Harris provided such a valuable asset for him. That the Nets are losing some of their teeth, and I'm not saying that in the sense of like KD can't carry a team, or him and Kyrie and him and James. We understand what the three of them can do together, but we haven't seen the three of them together. And Joe Harris is a big part of what they do. And we saw when he wasn't showing up in that Bucks series how much of a problem that was.
Let's put it this way: the Nets were already top heavy.
Yep.
Joe Harris might be out. Kyrie can only play half the games. James Harden may or may not be totally committed, and then KD has a sprained MCL.
And even with the James Harden thing, you can even say this: he's still
Hamstring.
dealing with a hamstring. So
yeah.
And then didn't they release one of their bigs? Which one did they release?
They're gonna part ways with Paul Millsap.
Yeah.
But he ain't playing anyway, so it don't really matter.
Yeah.
He's hurt.
No,
No.
They just want it's not a good fit.
Oh.
So like I actually had a conversation with some of my coworkers earlier. I'm kind of rooting for Harden Simmons. Like I feel like that kind of makes both teams more beatable, and and it makes them more combustible long term. Like, like people are so caught up on like, can they make this trade? It's like, should they? Because honestly, I mean, like obviously Philly is like, well, we're not getting anything for Simmons anyway, so try to get something for him. But it's like they're so Embiid heavy. Dude, just eat it. Pause.
I think he was just trying to
I'm
touch
just
one.
trying to touch this one.
Yeah. Pause.
Like they're so Embiid centric, like throwing, like he's already having a hard time assimilating with like the people in Brooklyn. So like, how's that going to mesh? Like if you bring him in to play with Embiid, and like personalities wise, like Harden really has never played well with others, and like Joel Embiid isn't the easiest person to get along with. So
has he ever had a big like that? Oh, of
I mean,
course, not
Dwight-
like a big.
I said
Like
Dwight
Dwight is
Howard
the
in
most
Houston.
high profile guy that he had.
Yeah, this is fresh off the back surgery too, wasn't he?
And like as we've seen with James Harden, like the best bigs that he plays with are like rollers, like people that he can like
And
run
that's
pick and
not
roll
what
with
Embiid-
and just throw lobs to, or like
He likes
get
to
under
dribble.
there and
You want to dribble.
No, he want to sauce you up, bro.
Dribble,
And B
dribble,
want to
dribble,
cut
dribble,
you.
dribble.
He want to break you up at half court, bro.
Embiid in the post like, please, hey,
Pass me the
this
ball.
please. You see me down here, don't you?
And then like the
Um,
basketball fit in Brooklyn is cleaner. Like I actually think that Ben Simmons would thrive like as a Bruce Brown, Blake Griffin hybrid. That's
The
just
pressure
like
ain't on
way
him.
more right, and it's
Mhm.
way more. He's way more talented. It's like I think that's fine, but like then think about like the personalities involved. Like if they hit adversity, like
They might fall.
Yeah.
How old is James Harden?
30,
I think he's 31, 32.
132, yeah, somewhere around.
I was talking
I
about
want
this
to say
earlier. I was like,
89.
God, he might. Golly, we are the same age. Okay, James. 32, turning 33 this year. I think we've seen James Harden's best days
Mhm.
behind him at this point. Yeah, so the Brewers named Pedro Alvarez as an assistant in their baseball in their baseball operations and player development. And then they also named Ricky Weeks as an assistant.
Ricky
in player
Weeks,
development.
welcome back, Ricky.
I met Ricky once at a charity event, and he was just such a nice.
That's the word on the
That's
street. That he's like a dope dude, just like a
super
really good
nice.
person.
Him and his wife, they were super nice.
Word on the street.
They
The
said that about him
scuttlebutt.
when he was a player here.
Don't you
too.
want
like,
that kind of scuttlebutt about
Right.
you?
Oh yeah, word on the street.
Word on the
that
street
nigga.
is. I didn't say that's what you want your scuttlebutt to be. Oh, you talking okay? Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's that nigga. That one.
That's a really deep question.
Speaking of
actually.
the Nets, fun fact, because I follow ESPN stats and info. The Nets trail by 26 points with 5 minutes and 8 seconds left to play in the first quarter. That is the fastest a team has faced a 26-point deficit in a game over the last 25 seasons.
Is that happening right now?
Right now.
What am I?
Shit, who are they playing? Look like the Celtics.
Oh, that makes sense.
They do be cooking.
Oh, because they in Brooklyn, so they
They
don't
are
have
in
Kyrie.
Brooklyn.
They don't have
James Harden. There's a skeleton crew tonight.
Oh, they finna get cooked.
So it makes sense. I'm not even tripping over that at
And
all.
I think I saw the Nets only have 10 road games left out of their final 26.
Really?
Because most of them were over that stretch we talked about. Like this was supposed to be their stretch of getting all them guys acclimated to playing together.
Because
but-
Kyrie ain't gonna be able to be there for the most of the end of the season.
And I think some of those road games include a game against the Knicks, which he also can't play.
What about the Raptors? They might be.
I don't know if he can play in
Yeah,
Canada.
No, because he unvaccinated. I don't think he can get in.
He can't get into Toronto.
Get in the country. Jesus. All right.
Yeah, because like if they play in the playoffs, like he's just done for the season, done for the series.
That is a really fucked up situation.
Which like they're saying like Harden's upset about that too. It's like, dude, like I came here to play with these two, and like dude don't want to get the shot.
And now I can't play with them except for half the time. And
Mhm.
Because the top four would get home court advantage, right?
Shell
Mhm.
said Schroeder had 24 in the first quarter. Jeez.
That brother-
He trying to get traded.
Yeah.
He trying to come to Milwaukee.
I was gonna say, did y'all see where he's supposedly?
Hell
getting
yeah.
traded?
Yeah. I'm
But
not
that was
crazy.
Boston offering it to us.
Yeah, Boston brought it to the Bucks. Like, hey, shooter for Dante, and they like,
And the Bucks said,
if y'all give us Grant Williams, and they're like, fuck that. So we'll see.
so yeah.
Like if it is Schroeder and Grant Hill, like I'm kind of on board with that.
I wish we did get
Not
Grant Hill.
Grant Williams.
Nah, girl, yeah.
Honestly, present day Grant Hill, like
Hey, let's see.
probably
what
more
Grant-
useful than Shimmy Ozo. But
Facts.
Shit.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Talk about a sign that didn't pan
Gary
out.
Payton right now. Today.
Don't bring up Gary Payton. It's too close to the anniversary right now. I still
Mhm.
feel some kind of way. ESPN released their 100 greatest MLB players list. Yeah, we ain't heard from Ken in a while. We gonna try to get y'all back into this
because we're talking Bucks and Nets.
Yeah, shit to say.
And Blazers.
Oh yeah, shit to say though.
Watch more teams besides the Lakers, nigga. No, I'm playing. Yeah, they released a team of 100 or their 100 greatest MLB players. They had over 20,000 votes to determine the final order. They based it on career WAR, Hall of Fame status, peak performance, and overall contributions to the game. And the list does include Negro League players, so we're going all the way back to the 1800s for this list.
That's what pisses me off about this list. All these old Babe Ruth, stop putting this nigga at number 1.
So Babe Ruth,
God damn,
spoiler
bro.
alert, Babe Ruth number 1.
God damn, on every fucking baseball list.
Oh, Shell said that was wrong. Tim stabbed me. This bell's for you, Shells.
Oh shit, that nigga had 12 points. This nigga moved.
So Mike Trout was the highest ranked active player at 15. So top 10. I've never heard of number 10 before. Stan Musial. Never heard of him. I apologize. Number 9, Walter Johnson. Number 8, Barry Bonds. Number 7, Mickey Mantle. Number 6, Lou Gehrig. Number 5, Ted Williams. 4, Ty Cobb. 3, Hank Aaron. 2, Willie Mays. And 1, Babe Ruth.
Wait, sorry, Shells, you gotta get a second one, fam. They sure got 6 points.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my God. He give him a want, bro. Can he get a want?
Hell no.
Want.
No, not that one.
Oh shit.
Hey, being Mark in the comments is hard, ain't it?
He threw the stat out completely wrong.
Mark back there with his arms crossed, like,
Like,
yeah. What you talking about?
Rap God and
What you
shit.
talking about? Hell yeah. I think I'm beginning to feel like a rap guy.
Oh boy. Okay.
I don't know what he was looking at.
That's funny, though.
24 in the first.
He said, I'm fine.
Woo.
Woo! Niggas was geek, gay, and gave Shooter plenty props for no
Right.
reason.
Hey, but I will say this, Shells, you led us into a different talking point. So yeah, you got that going for you at least. So back to the MLB list of top 100 players. How do y'all feel? I'm gonna leave that. I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't really watch baseball like that, but I knew every name on here except for Stan.
Let's see. Ruth. Of course, they go stand by that man.
I'm sick of him at number 1.
I was saying, they go stand by that
he
man.
can't
being the
always
greatest.
be number 1, bro. He's not the fucking greatest.
Willie Mays is, and Hank Aaron.
So who is your number 1 greatest baseball player of all
If we
time?
could keep it in this order, put Willie Mays at number 1.
I'll say Willie Mays.
Yeah.
Hayes will be number 1.
Exactly.
I mean,
And that's-
power, speed, stealing
He
bases.
literally could do everything.
Everything. Gold
Anything
gloves,
you need a
silver
baseball
sluggers.
player to do, this man did.
Without juicing. So
Allegedly.
hey, I ain't heard nothing about him.
Yeah.
Nothing about him. Willie Mays Hayes, the truth.
Willie Mays Hayes was from the movie, like Willie Mays.
I kept saying, like, where's this Hayes
Okay.
coming from? I was legit. I was like Googling it, like
For sure.
That was what's his name? Wesley Snipes in Major
Mhm.
League.
I was definitely sitting here, like I'm trying to.
I gave you
Don't,
one.
don't change nothing.
It,
He was the truth still. He still be number 1. Hey, take off the Hayes. Ain't nothing I said was a lie.
Hey.
Not a one. That's all I'm gonna say. You ex-nay that, but not one word.
Stand the man.
Like I do, like to your point, it's just like how's everybody from like we haven't had a great baseball player side say for Barry Bonds in the last 50 years. Like
Yeah.
He could be top 8, but he can't be in the Hall of Fame.
Babe Ruth
No, I
last
mean,
played
it's different,
baseball in 1935. Like, come on.
I
How
will
is
say,
he still number 1? That's
I'll say this about base of all the sports that have like evolved. I feel like baseball is the one that's closest to the form it was in when it was started.
Mhm.
Of
Yeah.
like talking about baseball, basketball, football.
Mhm.
I have no opinion on hockey. I couldn't tell you about that one. But between them three,
Yeah, for sure.
wrestling.
no, even wrestling has changed so much from.
I know I was just giving you another one. To,
Yeah, but like baseball, I feel like it's the closest one. So I think it is a little bit easier to compare previous eras to current ones. But like, it's like.
You feel like it's not that much evolution in the game?
I don't. But my point is with Babe Ruth, like I feel like it's closer, so you can kind of have an argument, like, oh yeah, Babe Ruth or Willie Mays. I feel like you can have those conversations a little bit easier than other sports. Like it's harder to be like Bart Starr or Patrick Mahomes because like the game was just
Totally
completely different.
Yeah.
just a random observation I have about baseball, which is why I think you normally see a lot of the legends continuously listed because the game just hasn't evolved that much.
Yeah, but even so, like looking at this list, it's like Mike Trout is number 15 is the highest ranked active player, but like to your point, it's like no.
Like I want to say there were like less than 10 active players in the entire list. I don't even think it was close to 10.
And I mean, I don't know if
I think Pujols is on there though. Pujols.
I mean, yeah, I guess
Yeah, he was like
he's
20
still
something.
active.
but yeah, he's not active no more, is he?
Like he was still on the Dodgers last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
he is? Okay.
Barely.
But when he was
He
Pujols
did all he
was
could do.
wild.
Yeah, Pujols.
Cardinals, oh my God, was wild. I hated that man so
never
much.
saw a picture he couldn't hit, bro.
But he was one of those players that even though he was on a rival team, it was one of those in awe. Just like you already know what he finna like, dog.
He
St.
was
Louis coming
golf
with
swinging home runs.
fucking shit up. And still batting 300.
Yeah.
I googled Babe Ruth versus Willie Mays. I wanted to see their stats next to each other, and the very first thing that popped up was a snippet from a Bleacher Report article that says, "As great as Ruth was, he simply wasn't as good as William Howard Mays, the greatest baseball player of all time."
Thank you.
Proponents of Ruth will say Ruth is by far the best player. He not
Why?
only hit 714 career home runs, but he also won 94 games as a pitcher, and very likely could have made the Hall of Fame as a pitcher. So that's the case that people bring up when it comes to Babe Ruth.
But isn't Willie Mays like considered like the greatest outfielder of all, like defensive outfielder of all?
Yeah, of all time.
Like damn near the best offensive and defensive player of all time. Hayes had the pitcher in his back pocket.
Mays.
Willie Mays, my bad.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Like it's almost disrespectful now.
What a hey.
Take a breath.
But the article, I'm just browsing through it, but they're pointing out the fact that Babe Ruth didn't have some of the same challenges that Willie had in the sense of like cross travel or traveling cross country to play a game.
You also ain't have to deal with segregation.
Relief also, yes.
You know damn well Babe Ruth was
Hold on now.
You know damn well.
No.
Don't you got a black daughter?
Babe Ruth is something. Babe Ruth ain't white.
Fuck that.
No. Babe Ruth is not white.
What
Babe
is
Ruth he was something.
He was passing.
He was definitely passing back then, but he was like Dominican or black or something because they were also teammates of Babe Ruth back in the day who would be like, I ain't staying with him. And he used to always kick it with all the black folks too. So like Babe Ruth was
of the culture.
Yes, Babe Ruth was not I don't know the right way to say what I'm trying to say, but
we know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
I
was just trying to see what she was for the actually say, even though we know.
I was
like, what word is she going to use?
We ain't trying to get Camille fired.
What word is she going to use?
I couldn't find it. It's more of a description.
She got too much to lose.
More of a description in my head.
Just leave that to me. I don't got shit. I'll handle those. I'll take those. I'll jump on those grenades.
But to your point, the article went on to continue saying that Willie Mays was a 5-tool player. Like he is, when you talk about a 5-tool player, like you point to Willie Mays.
Yeah, he literally, whatever you needed a baseball player to be, that literally was Willie Mays. You almost made me say,
Willie Hayes?
Yeah, he bullshit.
So, y'all got any other opinions on the top 10?
I think Griffey was like 12 or something. So, that's cool.
Okay. I would think that most of the people in the top 10 should be like like even if you don't know the sport that well, you should know the name.
Yeah.
And as mentioned,
Stan Musial.
Stan was the name I didn't know.
I want to say Cardinals, right? Musial.
I don't know.
I believe so. I know his nickname was Stan the Man. From when
Stan the Man.
Stan the Man.
He used to get all the babes.
Cardinals.
All right. The coaches, NBA.
Oh, shit.
So while we were recording here, as you guys heard earlier, the NBA released for the 75th season the top 15 NBA coaches of all time.
Oh, they just be doing shit. Like they ain't tell us they was doing this.
No, they just dropped that.
Red Auerbach, Larry Brown, Chuck Daly, Red Holtzman, Phil Jackson, Casey Jones, Steve Kerr, Don Nelson, Greg Popovich, Jack Ramsey, Pat Riley, Doc Rivers, Jerry Sloan, Eric Spoelstra, and Lenny Wilkins.
Eric Spoelstra. Okay.
I was actually more surprised about Steve Kerr. Like I get it, he won all the titles, but it's like
I was expecting to be on there right now.
That's fair. They probably won't because of winning percentage. Probably
all time. That's kind of.
I like they put Spoelstra up there.
I do like that one.
Mm-hmm. I think he's like second in all time winning percentage, right?
And people attribute that to the Heat, but I think that honestly, I think I said this before on the show. Like after that, like he proved that he was a really good coach. Like his teams are consistent.
Mhm.
They always got some type of fire. It's a great defensive mentality. They'll never really give the fuck up. They always end the conversation of something. Like even if they just a pest, even if they're not that good that year, they still cause issues and problems because they're typically
For the
well
most
coached team.
part, the Heat over exceed expectations,
Yeah,
which is the
you're right.
greatest mark that you can give a coach. Like you might not have championship talent, but like if you get the most out of your players on a consistent basis, like you can attribute that to coaching and like picking the right players. But
like they got to buy into the system and everything.
because again, like look at what Steve Kerr did, like when he didn't have like his big guns, like it was big trash.
The teams, the team matters.
Well, they got two top 15 picks.
Who?
The Warriors. Wasn't it this year? Was it Kuminga was 10 and what was the other guy? 15.
Kuminga was like 8, and I think Moody was 14,
Yeah.
and they had Wiseman at 2 the year before.
Yeah, Steve Kerr has the third best winning percentage of all head coaches in NBA history. So that's probably why he got that nod. You said Billy Cunningham was on that list. Did you say Billy Cunningham?
I don't think so.
No, well, second place didn't matter. Didn't matter.
No Billy C.
Didn't matter. Phil was on there.
Yep.
Okay.
That shit, Barry Bonds got like 19 MVPs and
Don
he's number
Nelson
8.
was on there too, right?
Don Nelson, yes.
I like Don Nelson.
Smoking Donnie. Big bags when Don's in town.
Oh, speaking of which, happy birthday. Not speaking of which, but like he was coach of Marcus Johnson. Happy birthday, old school.
Happy birthday, Marcus Johnson. As Josiah always says on Twitter, the first Crip to win
Wow.
Wooden award.
Yeah. Which I was like, dang, Marcus was a Crip. Put your daddy
Happy
business all
birthday.
out
Oh,
there,
shit.
man. Just
I mean,
Marcus-
if your daddy was a Crip, like you probably say something. If he let you.
no,
If he lets you, is the key.
I don't know about all that.
Hey man, you get hand-me-down street cred.
I got
hand-me-down problems.
facts.
You got plenty of uncles that take care of you.
Facts. I had hand-me-down street cred in my neighborhood because of my cousin,
There
but
you
it wasn't like my cred. It was just like, don't talk to her.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, like people like, like it was one time I was walking to the gas station and this dude was trying to holler at me. And the dude tapped me like, no, that's Mike's cousin, and they peeled off. I really felt some kind of way about that. Like I was like,
You probably mad as hell, like, oh,
I
damn.
was like, damn.
Meanwhile, he just protecting you.
Hell no.
He had a shield the whole
the
time.
whole time.
That sounds like Omar like coming through on the wire. Like
Whistling and shit. Trying out line with shotguns all out in the open.
Oh boy. Okay.
Every family need one. Every family needs
but
one.
just one. Like you
Just
can't,
one.
you can't have two because
No.
then they get into trouble together
And yeah.
or
So
with each other.
last topic discussion piece. It was reported earlier that Shane McMahon was quietly let go
Mm-hmm.
from the
Quietly let go, but everybody had the damn news story. Like,
Everybody was pissed about it too. At the actual WWE, well, not pissed about him leaving. Well,
Pissed
his
at him.
actions
Pissed
did
at
that led
him.
him to him getting quietly let go.
So he was let go because he received a lot of heat, which is a wrestling term for beef. He had a lot of
negative attention.
Mhm.
thrown his way as his role of a producer and writer for the men's Royal Rumble match. Shane was in the match, and
Like
he,
the dude's trying to holler at you.
Oh shit!
oh my God,
My cousin up there.
gotta go. But I love that name is so common that it doesn't give anything away.
Nope.
But yeah, Shane was reportedly trying to make that match all about himself, and his ideas were just really bad, and they weren't gonna make nobody else look good. And then Shane threw a hissy fit when he found that Seth Rollins wasn't going to be in the Royal Rumble because he's supposed to have a whole program with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and he wanted to start it in the Rumble, and he had a whole fit. And then he trying to come out a different number. And then Randy Orton was like, if you don't come out when your music hit, I'm not walking out. So somebody going to have to come out. So long story short, they was tired of him, and his run's over before it got started.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, he was supposed to be one of the biggest. Like it was supposed to be Roman's story and his story
Which
going into WrestleMania.
to
which
just do a little.
Weird.
It is weird, and I just want to put a little note there again and say this is what's wrong with WWE programming.
Mm-hmm.
Shane McMahon should not continue
Not to be number 2.
in 2022. Should not be your number 2 storyline on nothing. Like, come on,
I don't want
man.
to see that. I don't want to see that.
And I was a Shane McMahon fan. I got
Yeah,
a Shane
yeah.
O'Mac jersey.
How many
When
times
he was
can
a
we-
kid, I was like, Camille probably gonna love
How
this.
many times can we see him do an elbow drop and jump off some shit? Like, yeah, nobody tries to see that shit.
Yeah, and he had the storyline with Kevin Owens as the authority figure too, which I thought that's what they was probably finna get back to, which I did not want to see again.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm gonna put allegedly before all of this.
Allegedly.
But like the way that it was reported, like it kind of sounds like dude was on a coke bit. Like they like he was sweating a lot, he was erratic, like he was
low-key,
more
yeah.
like
he was erasing shit every 5 minutes.
right, like he was jumping from thing to thing. I'm like, y'all saying he on drugs without saying he on drugs, ain't you?
They said they changed that match about 20 times.
They said he was like jerking around like Bad Bunny spot, which is like you
can't
cannot
do
do
that.
that. Like first of all, he's not a professional, so like he
He
can't
don't
just
even belong
adjust
to
the
y'all
shit on the fly.
company.
And second of all, like it's a big ass star, so you don't want to be like
Bad taste in his mouth,
basically.
You don't want to
Like,
look
you gotta
bad
kiss his
in front
ass.
of company.
All right.
especially when he had the year he just had. Like Jesus
Exactly.
Christ, biggest
it.
superstar. Shit.
They said he
Planet.
was like pulling rank, like, well, Vince told us to do. Who you think Vince gonna listen to? You or me? Like
Type shit.
Bro, if you get the fuck
Riddle was
And
supposed
it,
to
like,
win.
again, like they were talking about like how much he was sweating, which I noticed when he came out. I'm like, how is dude blown up already? Like he been in the ring for like 30 seconds.
Fam, he throw punches like Mick Foley did at the end. The most,
Ain't nobody moving. They just gotta
they just
kind of
sit
try
there,
to.
I'm like, all right, man. Like,
And like people were upset because like he came in and was like fighting with Otis, and like Otis is like a real like wrestler.
Big dude, bro.
Well, I mean, like he's like a legitimate, like he like wrestle like
Mhm.
competitively. Matt Riddle was like a UFC fighter. He came in like beat him up with some punches that looked like shit, and then like he took like 2 super kicks and a stunner from Shane and just shook him off and then eliminated him. It's like
come on, man.
dude came in like he was Roman Reigns.
He
Like,
thought he was.
Because they said he wanted to book himself to be the last one out,
Mhm.
one of the last people out, if he wasn't gonna be the one to win the Rumble. And I'm like, bro,
and
what
they were
the
like
fuck?
he told Brock like, yeah, I'll put you over. Like, do you got?
You don't need to put Brock over. You don't need to put Brock Lesnar
He was
over.
willing to
Say
put
it one
Brock
more
over.
time for him. In case
You
you didn't hear
do
me.
not need to push or put Brock Lesnar over. He is
don't.
his own entity.
Yep.
When he enters whatever atmosphere or environment he is in, Brock Lesnar is always the center of fucking attention. There's nothing
Talk to
extra that you need to give Brock Lesnar, which is why I think is the best thing that they did so far is put Paul Heyman back with Roman Reigns.
Talk to him.
He don't need him. Brock Lesnar's been the most entertaining version of himself this time around.
Yeah.
And he's putting on good fucking matches. He's selling shit. He's buying into the matches. He's buying into the storylines.
He got it down to a T now.
He good now. But you can tell the difference between when Brock was coming in as a mercenary.
Mhm.
When he's coming in just to get paid and
Yeah,
bounce.
get up
He's
out.
coming in really fucking people up.
Mhm.
Didn't give a shit and just leave. We wouldn't see from Brock. He wasn't doing promos. He wasn't doing Van packages. He wasn't doing none of that shit. He just come in and kick ass with his Jimmy Johns. He bounced. But now he coming in, giving an actual story. He giving reactions. You know, he kind of like really buying into the shit. Like he's
It just took him 20 years to figure out how to be a wrestler.
the best version of himself in
Yeah,
the WWE.
Yeah, fam.
And I enjoy it. I truly do.
Brock's
So
fine.
we were talking about Shane McMahon. Like speaking of shit that nobody wants to see. Goldberg and Roman Reigns apparently is happening.
Yeah. He popped up
yeah.
on SmackDown.
For what though, bro?
Because he's next.
because Vince don't know how to build like
Because he's next. Shut your
the mayor was telling me that we can move on to this to the
Oh,
blow the whistle
shit.
and stuff. It's already 8:00. We got to get home to see this game.
Yeah, man.
He was
Blow
saying
your
that
damn phone up.
a lot of wrestlers in the back are just upset because they feel like Vince don't care about nobody but like 4 people, which
It's fucked up.
is true.
That's why he can't build nobody new. Like I think he loves Drew McIntyre though.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, Austin Theory is his
I was
pet
gonna
right
say
now
who
too.
was dude? Because
Austin Theory is really like when they signed him
is he
in
good though?
NXT.
He cold.
When he was indie, he was the hottest thing coming up.
Okay.
So Vince fell in love with him
And
apparently.
he's like super young.
Signed him to NXT. Loved that he said just to polish him up a little bit. So when they brought him to NXT, they brought him up to the main roster real quick. He
Mhm.
wasn't down in NXT long. Then they paired him with Zelina Vega now.
Mhm.
Then after that kind of blew up, they sent him back to NXT to hone his skill. But he was with Arthur Stone he was with Johnny Gargano and his crew.
Mhm.
So he was learning with
Oh,
him
yeah,
and them.
that's it, okay.
And now he's back up playing Vince's pet, which is why when I had his number in the Royal Rumble, I wouldn't have been surprised that he would have got it and it was floated around that he could win.
Uh-huh.
Because of the fact
Yes.
that he is literally Vince's project right now that he's building up.
Yeah, I was like, how are you in the elimination chamber? What the-
Yeah, he's building him up. When he won, I told Sam, I was like, it's gonna happen.
Triple T said they need to put Vince in the home.
They need to put Vince in the elimination chamber.
Absolutely. Again. Yes.
Take him out back.
Again. All right. Blow the whistle time. Let's get into it.
All right, now that's enough out of you. You know what? Tee his ass up.
First up the bat, Eric.
Yeah, mine quick. I'm gonna need Stephen A. Smith to stop threatening people on national television.
I got
like
some
he
dirt.
He got into it with KD again, which reminded me a couple years ago. He's like, "You don't want to mess with me, Kevin Durant." Like he always, and now he came back with Tiki Barber. Like apparently Tiki said something to him, and he like, "You don't want to do that. I know some stuff about you that I ain't gonna say on TV, but you know I know, right?" Like, first of all, that's blackmail, fam. That's illegal.
Very much so.
But like, yeah, like you, like he's making himself part of a story. It's like if you media, you media. If you,
He's Shane McMahon.
ain't nothing less to say.
Hey,
We just spent 5
perfect.
minutes on it.
That's perfect.
That's wild shit that you out here threatening people on national TV like that, though.
Now I saw another blow the whistle. Is that you, Ken?
Yeah, man.
Like, I saw the color. I'm like, that gotta be Ken because like I don't recognize it. But, like I ain't seen yellow in the dark in a minute.
Look at Ken. Ken said,
niggas ain't shit. Bro, y'all say I'll get traded in this motherfucker. Now when I ain't here next week,
We'll call you.
what's your blow the whistle? Sir?
but yeah, my blow the whistle is on Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau, the Knicks coach. He benched Cam Reddish because he really don't fuck with him like that.
Already?
Yeah,
That's
but
just how
they
it is, bro.
didn't want to do the
He didn't wanna
trade.
do it.
He didn't want to do the trade in the first place, so they did the trade. But then you ruined this young man's career.
You are
by not
destroying
playing
it.
him.
Destroying it.
Like I was like, that makes no sense, bro.
He can't showcase shit. He can't
Nothing.
do send him to the G League at least then. Let him play.
Like that's trash. Like
Cameron,
shit
Well,
like
I don't know,
that.
that might be
Is,
worse for him.
like stuff like that is garbage.
Like I get, like yeah, to your point, like it is, but like also it's like that's why your front office and your coaching staff need to be on the same page.
this.
Like
Yeah.
if he's like, I don't want him because like he doesn't fit what I'm trying to do,
Yeah.
like kind of listen to him. 'Cause
No,
it's
he
like, at
good,
the end of
bro.
the day, like he gonna be the one giving them playing time.
Mhm.
So unless you're willing to fire Tom Thibodeau over Cam Reddish, like
Yeah, that
you
ain't
just
happening.
wasted like that trade.
Yeah, wasted a whole
Exactly.
draft pick.
Yeah, for no reason. Like,
Everybody
that
knows
makes-
Tibbs is stubborn too.
That's
Yeah.
fact.
Stubborn is his,
But what
his
might
way.
end up happening is like the front office then trades away like the people that are playing in front of them. So like now you uprooted
Your
player
foundation
other
of your
play-
team.
yeah. So it's just a messy. Shit's all bad in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they talking about still getting rid of Randall. Maybe.
That's what we
Like
said
he don't want to be
earlier.
there.
Yeah. Everybody
Like
for
he
sale.
getting into it with assistant coaches on the sideline,
Ain't talked to
Yeah.
the media in months.
giving thumbs
Oh.
down, which I'm still okay with.
Boo, boo you.
Boo yourself.
Hey, that's a fine, sir. You can't do that.
Let's get into the Tech Top 5.
5,
4, 3.
2.
1.
Tech
Top
top
5.
You thought I was gonna middle finger you, didn't you?
Let's
Whoa, hey, yo.
What is going on,
Wait
sir?
a moment.
Jesus Christ.
If they watching the YouTube, they see my hand.
Last
Yeah,
week,
but most people listen on podcasts.
last week we did Black Inventions. We did not get that list that we'll post it this week for y'all to vote for a winner.
I'll take it.
I said we can do
Nah,
a double feature. If you
We're
want.
gonna post both of them. We got the graphic.
It's Black History Month.
so we're gonna post it.
Y'all need this knowledge.
This week we are doing best Black biopics, so biography movies, so based on the true story.
Indeed.
Tim, what you got, fam?
Okay. Number 5. I got Notorious.
You like that movie that much?
I really
For
did.
top 5?
I watched it like at least like 12 times.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't expect to see it on nobody's top. No,
No,
Yeah.
for sure. No, I really did enjoy it a lot. Number 4, I got 42.
he was a good Biggie too.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
What's the name? Notorious was a good Lil Kim, I think.
I thought you were about to say, what's his name of the good Pac in that movie? I'm like, no.
No, not Pac. Not Pac. I'm talking about Lil Kim.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Number 3, I have What's Love Got to Do with It.
And then wait, just to be clear, in case people didn't hear, 4 was 42.
Yes, the Jackie Robinson stuff. Yeah. And then Tina Turner for What's Love Got to Do with It. Number 3. Number 2, I have Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures was so freaking good.
It was way better than I thought it was
It
gonna
was,
be.
I was in the theater like,
Right. It was
on the
good.
TV, I was like, my
It
missus
was really
like,
good.
You okay, TT? I'm like, yeah, girl, y'all don't see the
Oh, when they made her ass walk to the bathroom, bro, I was sitting there like, my God, bro.
tear up now.
It was really good. I think that's
That's a
one
great
of the
movie.
movies I seen when I was in the desert.
Oh yeah.
So I was just sitting there. I was sitting there. Oh,
That's
shit,
a great
this
movie.
good.
That's a great movie. Taraji acted her butt off in
yeah,
that.
they did.
So did She
Janelle Monáe.
Janelle Monáe. I was like, this girl can act.
Janelle Monáe.
Monáe.
All right, number 1, the Jacksons, An American Dream. That is my shit.
I gotta do this for you because
As long as you ain't pick the flex one, nigga, you cool.
okay,
Fuck no. Hell no, bro. They had my man's out. Do you remember
That's wrong for that, bro.
do you remember Big Bad Beetleborgs?
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember Flubber, the ghost guy?
See, I don't
That's how
remember.
Flex was looking as Michael Jackson in that
was
motherfucker. Like a
terrible
straight ass
movie.
guy.
That
That
was
shit was
horrible.
terrible.
That was like who? That
I've
was
only
horrible.
ever seen the screen cap.
you
Bro.
don't. That's
That's
enough.
all I
That's
need.
all you
I'm
need.
talking about
That's all you need.
trash,
That shit was
bro.
terrible. Flex, I don't know why the hell they did that to that man.
That was
I don't know
good.
why he
They got a
said,
new one
"I'll
coming
do
out
it."
though. I heard that they're in the making of a new one.
A new Michael
Michael
Jackson
Jackson.
movie.
Yeah, I think Sony's doing it.
Triple T
August-
said that
or-
Flex Alexander was
or the Dream
disrespectful.
Game.
Mad
He really
disrespectful,
was
bro.
disrespectful.
Mad disrespectful.
Like, I was
He was
excited to watch it, and then I was watching it like, oh no,
He
baby.
like Dave Chappelle when he was the white anchor. That's who he. That's
Pretty much. 'Cause that shit was terrible. It was awful. It was awful. Oh my god, that was terrible. But no, I like the actual.
Jackson. The Jackson 5 American Dream is one
Yeah,
of the
That was
best.
one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Maybe like
it's-
4 hours long.
I've never seen that movie in one sitting.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 hours.
I feel like I have several times.
I've
I don't know
literally
how, bro,
always
you
caught
seen
it
that shit like that.
at different. I've seen the whole movie multiple times,
Yeah.
but like I always
But
catch
in one
it at
sitting?
random.
Yeah,
Maybe
my-
as a kid, I probably watched it as a kid all the way through.
My
I
uncle
think.
used to call me. He said I looked like Michael Jackson a lot when I was younger, which I got that all the way through. I got that all the way through middle school, and then when I hit high school, it was Ray J.
Oh,
So
I
it
can
was
see
like-
Ray
It was,
J.
it
First
was,
of all,
it was young black Mike when I was
this
younger.
nigga
No, I've
said-
seen you as a kid, and I've seen your son,
Young
and
Black
I don't.
Mike.
I don't think.
Also had a Jerry curl at one point.
Oh,
Well, when
I think
Michael,
you probably like Rick James, then, motherfucker.
Right, 'cause when
Not
Michael
no
was
Michael
young,
Jackson.
he had an afro, not a Jerry curl, so like, it don't make.
I've gotten Michael Jackson for the
Oh, shit.
longest time.
Tell
You
people
can
to
look.
check their
I'm
eyes.
about to look at my.
I've seen them.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
I-
send us a picture of you looking like Michael Jackson.
Okay, I'll show you. Some
I've
shit.
seen them.
I'm like, this nigga.
Eric, what you got?
5, I got Why Do Fools Fall in Love.
Hey, Frankie Lyman.
Yep. 4, Malcolm X.
Okay.
3.
Brother, stop.
Wait, no. Sorry. 4, Ray. 3, Malcolm X.
For sure.
2, Ali. 1, Jackson 5.
Okay. Ray is probably one of the best acted movies
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've seen. Like
Yeah.
it's phenomenal.
Because he was like, that nigga
Yeah.
was Ray Charles, bro.
I was just watching
Like,
something the other day.
If you've seen like the clips when Ray Charles was like in like and he
Mhm.
finally when he was with Jamie, he was saying like, oh yeah, this kid,
Yeah, he got it.
Mhm.
You got it.
He got it.
I was just watching one the other day when he was teaching him how to. He was playing the song. He just wanted to see if Jamie could actually play because they was gonna
Yep.
get a piano player to play Ray Charles' song.
And
Jamie was like,
said,
"Nah, I got
can
it."
do it.
So Ray was like, "Well, shit, let me see." So Ray sat down, started playing shit. Jamie started playing a little bit. Like, "No, boy, pick it up here. Pick it up here." Jamie got it. He's like, "God dang it, he got it." It was
You know
good.
what? I'm gonna make a quick substitute. I'm gonna make a quick change here for the end. So we
Jamie Foxx is one of like the most talented people.
Yeah,
it is.
like
That's
real
a fact.
talk.
That's a
The,
fact.
the range is ridiculous.
He don't get enough credit for it though, but he definitely
That's
hella
a fact.
talented.
He's just a kind of a weird dude.
goofy as fuck.
No,
No,
I'm
but
not
yeah, he
saying
is.
goofy. I'm
Yeah,
saying
he
like he's
weird
kind of
dude.
weird, like
He
just
weird
in
guy.
real life.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a weird guy.
but anywho, we here. Triple T said you definitely Tito.
Ah,
They got the wrong Jackson kid for you, fam.
that's Mike. He wanted to be Mike so bad.
All right, my top 5. Number 5, I got the New Edition story
Hey, Pepper, that's my honorable mention.
because
I can watch that.
I still gotta watch
I
that.
can watch it
I
every day.
was actually like shocked at how good
It was
that
really
was.
good.
It was like acting was like the kids they got to play them were
Yeah.
off the chain. The adult actors they got to play them were
Yeah.
great. The acting was just off the chain. The story itself was entertaining. Like the
Yeah.
whole thing
It was
around
dope.
it was really, really good. And I will again say, if you have not seen the New Edition story, please go and see it.
Took his head
On the flip side, you know what I didn't like?
What?
The TLC story.
Oh yeah, we don't. That was bad, that was bad.
Man, I was enjoying it to an extent.
I like that they told the story, but like
Mhm.
it just wasn't told.
The music was nostalgic. Like
Yeah.
a lot of it was more so for the,
The
nostalgia.
music, yeah, the music was what I wanted to hear, but like they
Mhm.
didn't tell the story
The
well.
Bobby Brown one was good too.
That was
Mm,
Young
Like, that was-
Kane out here.
I fuck with Bobby Brown.
It was like a spinoff of the New Edition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Number
Basically.
4, I got What's Love Got to Do with It. I can probably
Cake.
I can quote that movie probably too well.
Yeah.
Because they're in the age you probably saw it for the first time.
Me and Tim's wife, my best friend, we as
That's
kids
her shit.
would literally like be on the phone like, okay, We're gonna count down from 3. We're gonna press play at the same time. Like we synced up movies. The amount of times that me and her have seen What's Love Got to Do with It, it's probably scary. Especially because we were like 10. Like we shouldn't have been watching it that many times. To the point where me and her watched it like 2 years before the pandemic, and we had another friend over, and me and her kept going back and forth. Like we doing parts. We sitting here queuing to each. We doing dance moves. Our friend was like, "Why do y'all know this so well?" We was like, "It's a long story."
Yeah, I'm glad that was y'all night, bro. Because I'm like, can I watch the movie? Damn.
No,
Bad as
no. Number 3, I got Dolomite Is My Name. Because,
That was good.
First of all, I didn't know much about Rudy Ray Moore going into it, and Eddie Murphy just completely bodied that role. Like it was just well acted. And then the end, like I got a message at the end and everything, like believe in yourself and trust you. I'm like, okay.
Way down in the jungle deep.
And also Wesley Snipes was absolutely
Oh,
amazing.
Wesley Snipes is a trip.
And Dolomite Is My Name.
He's actually, since he's gotten back into movies,
Yeah,
Wesley Snipes has been killing his role.
Yeah, he has. Number 2, I got Malcolm X. That was my number 1 at first, but I made it last. Ditched change for my favorite. Number 1, The Temptations. It's my favorite, so I had to bump it up. Like I love Malcolm X is like my favorite historical figure, and I love the movie. But like when it comes to a movie I've seen too many times, it is The Temptations. I think I've seen that movie, both parts, at least, and I'm not exaggerating because I tried to figure this out. I've seen it at least 300 times.
Woo!
God damn.
When it came out, I was living in Michigan, so it was a really big deal when it came out, and we recorded on VHS, and I watched it every day throughout that whole year. I was in 4th grade, watched it every day. Then I got older and kept watching it and watching it and watching it. Like movie I can quote The Temptations. We were gonna do it all. I can do the dance moves, the quotes. Everybody came to see you, man. There's so many in that movie.
Should be looking like that motherfucker when my hair grow out.
Oh, you look like everybody. Apparently.
Right, clearly. Ken, what's your list?
At 5, I have Straight Outta Compton. 4, Selma.
You still ain't see Straight Outta Compton?
It's really good.
I ain't seen
Super
half of these movies.
Add them to your list, fam.
Yeah. 4, I have Selma.
So whose biopic is that? Like I saw that on your list. Like we kind of
Martin Luther King. Yeah, I would say it's his. I got another one. Man, gonna put on there.
I feel like it.
I mean, I was just curious.
What's Love Got to Do with It? And number 3, number 2, Temptations, and number 1, Malcolm X.
I like that.
I love Malcolm X.
Yeah,
the reason why I got my glasses and everything.
Were there any other honorable mentions y'all had on y'all list that you want to shout out?
I delete it.
42 was
42
one I didn't put on mine.
Shredded Compton was one I had on my 42 and Shredded Compton were my last 2 cuts.
Temptations was my last cut.
For mine. Also had Hidden Figures, Remember the Titans.
Yeah, I have Remember the Titans on my
I wasn't sure if that counted, so
Coach Carter.
I guess
I love Coach Carter.
Also had Judas and the Black Messiah. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah,
That's
that was really
a
good.
really
That was a
good
good
That was
movie.
really good.
Like really, that's a really good movie.
I had Pride on mine.
You do like that movie a lot. Yeah.
The thing about Black Jesus and the
Black
What is
Jesus.
it?
what is
Judas-
what the fuck-
Judas and the
thank
Black
you.
Messiah.
Like I always forget what it's like. Like just how young everybody was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
like-
God, doing something now. 22. I was
Bro,
sitting here
ain't
just
no
trying
way.
to.
Ain't no way I would have had that mindset.
I mean, Fred Hampton was 19 when he got young.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like even watching the movie, I'm like that even kind of threw me off because like all the actors were way older than
Right.
the people that they were playing. But it's like even the dude that snitched on him, like he was like super young.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it made like their decision making like a lot
Makes
more
sense.
sense.
Mhm.
Which is just that, some
yeah.
of it is just that.
Yeah, the movie had me in my chest body.
Yeah, for
Also
sure.
wanted to shout out Get On Up, which is on my short list as well. I
Oh, we
felt
can
like
just do a
Chadwick.
Chadwick.
yeah, he body
He
everything.
bodied that.
Thurgood Marshall.
he's I said, oh, you sound like James too. Let me turn this closed caption on real quick.
The hell you saying?
Right, but no, that's the top 5 this week. If you, the listener, have not seen any of these movies, we of course highly recommend
All of them.
all of them. Now for a new edition, the Jacksons, even Temptations, you better carve out about at least 4 hours to sit down and watch those. So
It's gonna be worth it though.
yeah, but they're good. They're good. Really wish I could have had Shredded Compton on my list too, but
Question before we wrap up: anybody interested in the Super Bowl?
I am.
Because now the get-in prices finally dipped below 5,000.
I'm good.
I'm straight on.
I wouldn't go. Absolutely not.
Anybody got a virtual reality thing we could watch it in the metaverse, bro?
I'm cool
Metaverse.
just watching it on regular OTV, fam. I'm not fooling around with that metaverse.
You're gonna have to eventually.
Y'all might see me
For
turn
real.
Amish at some point. I already got a social media problem. Not like being on it, but like I don't like it.
You're gonna live in this.
I don't like it no more. But I kind of feel like I have to be on it. Anyways,
Especially now, big time.
that's
Big time.
if I could figure out a way to get rid of my Facebook and
Oh,
just
shit,
keep,
that'd be easy.
and
I'm
just
about to say
keep
you
Twitter,
can do that. You can get rid of your Facebook, just operate out of the tech file.
then I'm still on Facebook. But I don't want to be. I don't want to have the app. I don't want to do nothing with it. Period. But I don't have that option. Anywho, another story, another time. That's the show for this week. We hope y'all enjoyed it. As a reminder, make sure that y'all like, subscribe, rate, and review, and all that good stuff for the show. It helps us grow, and we really appreciate it. Make sure you share the show with somebody. And as always, y'all stay safe. Take care of yourself. If you want to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On Twitter, Instagram, and these PSN streets if you're trying to hoop at Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE, because
Your mom is fancy.
thank you, good sir.
At your world champion Milwaukee Bucks partner on Twitter.
That's all you get.
You're
Everyday_gentleman on Instagram.
Mhm.
I'm K Harris 216 on Twitter and Snapchat.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ. Number 3.
Can you highlight Tim last
AKA
quarter
Big
of
Time Tim can kiss my ass.
yeah.
AKA these nuts.
That's funny, dog.
Fuck Tim.
This man said the T in tech file is now Tito.
Tito.
Before we wrap up real quick, shout out to LeBron James. He's 76 points away from becoming number 1 all time in points, regular season and playoff combined. He's on pace to break that on Saturday against the Warriors on ABC.
Yeah, brr, 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 brr.
That's big time.
AKA Mr. Give It To Me. I ain't forget my shit. Fuck him.
He turned his back to the camera and everything. He said, I'm off that. All right, y'all.
And
We-
T's for tits.
Titties.
Ain't you gonna do me like that? It be your own people. God damn it. Ain't you supposed to be the silent background? God damn it. Okay.
You changed every
Okay.
time.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
We got a ha to end that up. Appreciate all y'all in the chat too. By the way, again, y'all make the show so much more entertaining than what we
Absolutely.
already do. So we appreciate y'all spending y'all time with us live on Tuesdays. And that's that. We catch y'all next week.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.